The hit. No, bro, you're funny. Hey, welcome back to Matter of Fact. Monday, August 18th. Very close to the season. Very close. We're going to talk about what we saw over the weekend, injury reports, just news and notes in general, and then we're going to get into the NFC South after that. But I know you spent a lot of time going through all the games this week. How do you feel? Who are your fantasy movers?
Um, how do I feel? See, again, like me personally, it's hard to figure out like, okay, what can we take serious? Like what can we take notes on and like use as fantasy football material? Like, like okay, this is important for fantasy football, and what is just a team trying to figure out what they're trying to do. Um, so for me, it's like 50-50. Like I do feel as if I did collect some good information, some solid data, but at the same time, I do feel like there was a few hours there of my life wasted. So it is what it is. But that's how it goes when you watching preseason football.
Yeah, tell the audience what are your takeaways from preseason? Like, what are you looking for? Because you can't take too much out of it, but you also can't ignore it. Like me personally, I'm looking at snap counts, who's playing with the ones, and you know,
Yeah, I mean, it's also like it also depends on the team that you're watching because every team does it differently. So like snap counts, obviously that's a big deal. Who has the goal line carries? Who's in on for the 2 minute drill? If all the starters are playing, or if all the starters aren't playing, who's sitting? Who's sitting? Like Pittsburgh, for example, Jalen Warren was sitting. He didn't even play. Um, it was Gainwell that was the main running back, and Caleb Johnson was playing into the third quarter. For me, that's important. It means it might take a little bit longer than we expect for Caleb Johnson to have an actual role within that Pittsburgh offense. Another one that's similar, Jaden Higgins, a guy that we both kind of talked about here on this pod and like a lot. He wasn't even with the first team, and he wasn't the first guy to play the XY receiver for
it
the
was
second team.
it was Xavier Hutchinson. Seems like he's getting a
Yeah,
lot of burn. So yeah, Jaden Higgins personally, he went down in my rankings a little bit because when it comes to some of these late bloomers, you're also picking who you want in the draft when it comes to ADP based on when do you think they're going to get their opportunity. Like Kyle Williams, for example, kind of buried in that offense a little bit, but we expect a player like him to pop maybe around week 10 and 11. Can you really wait on that if you're losing, if you're like sub 500 by that time because you opted for these high
yeah,
upside guys when there was some people on the board that had way more defined roles in that offense? And in the Patriots case, just an overall better offense. I mean, with the Patriots, I feel like they're going to have Drake May kind of playing point guard pretty much. I think a lot of people in that offense are going to get a lot of usage. And then that backfield, once again, Josh McDaniels, known for the running back by committee thing. So that's going to be a mix of Travion Henderson, who he's kind of skyrocketing up boards right now. But that's not someone I would take, for example, in the third round if somebody's really gung ho on drafting him, for example, just like due to the situation,
well,
even though
right.
I like him as a talent.
Right. Or if you do, you just got to know, like, you got to be okay with the consequences. Obviously, uh, for example, Marion Hampton, it seems like you can take him in the third round and it's not really going to be a problem at all. It looks like he got all of the burn. Um, I think it was like 83% of the first team reps, and he looked good running in between the tackles. Obviously, we've already talked about his profile here on this podcast, but yeah, he's a player that I don't mind taking. Like I'm definitely like, and then on the opposite side of it, you got cats like Braylon Allen who are taking over the third down role, and it looks like there's going to be a running back for committee for sure in New York right now. So maybe it changes where you might have been drafting Braylon Allen, or even who's the starter right now? What's his name again?
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. Like some people are still drafting Brees Hall based off his talent, but me personally, I'm kind of cool off him because I just don't know what kind of carries he's going to be getting. And I mean, Justin Fields is pretty erratic out there.
Yeah, man. With Justin Fields, I mean, how do you want to do this? Because I feel like we have a lot to talk about. Do you want to go to like game by game, division by division? Like, how do you want to do this? Because I got a lot to say about the Jets. I got a lot to say about the Raiders. I got a lot to say about the Patriots.
We can go game by game. That's how you want to do it.
All right, let me bring up the schedule unless you have it right in front of you right now. Preseason week 2, and then we have a game like the brightness go down like that. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Nobody does things common sense. It feels like. All right. I guess what we could start with Colts Ravens.
Yeah, we start with the Colts and the Ravens. Wait, right. Colts and the Ravens? No, it's supposed to be Colts and Green Bay.
Oh yeah, see, that was last week. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, what week are we in? Oh shit, see, why are they giving me this shit from
the last year?
Nah, they're giving me shit from last year. Like, let's go with them. Like, what was the Thursday game?
The Thursday game was Seattle played and Kansas City played, and then the Falcons played and Tennessee played.
All right. All right. So we had the Falcons and the Titans on Friday, and then we had the Chiefs and the Seahawks. So what are your takeaways from the Falcons Titans?
I mean, Cam Ward looks good. Cam Ward, he looks like his wide receivers let him down. Obviously, Calvin Ridley didn't play, but based on them having the best strength of schedule due to the fact that they were the worst team in the NFL and his skill set, there's going to be a lot of erratic balls, a lot of interceptions, but at the same time, I mean, I think he's going to be slinging it, and I think that Calvin Ridley's going to kill Gunnar Helm. It looks like they got a steal there for the most part. Offensive line still a little choppy, but getting better. And I just think that, there's going to be value with this team based off their strength of schedule and the way that they're going to be playing from behind the majority of the time. So they're going to always be in catch-up mode, always throwing the ball. Calvin Ridley, I mean, he played well for teams down the stretch in fantasy last year, and his quarterback sucked. He was playing with Mason Rudolph and Will Levis. So, I just think based off the fact that Cam Ward is a notch better than them, he should be able to produce a solid fantasy year for these teams.
Is there anybody on the Titans fantasy wise that you're like, all right, I might eye him a little bit, because this was a part of one of the offenses. I don't really want parts. Like if I could get good value on Tony Pollard or Calvin Ridley, I mean, Gunnar Helm, that's somebody that will probably be on waivers. So you could kind of wait. Some of these players, and I recommend that you do Fab, by the way. Fab, extremely fun instead of doing the regular waiver order, by the way. This is the time of year where you're able to change some stuff up, whether it's the pot for your fantasy league or some of the constraints like how the waiver wire goes. But Gunnar Helm is somebody that I feel like you could wait until week 1, see how the Titans do, and then make a play if you see something promising, or if you just see his targets or the amount of snaps that he played for the offense and be like, okay, yeah, there's something there.
I mean, honestly, I would just draft him. If you feel that way about him, if you're thinking about him in your draft, I would just draft him last pick of the draft. You know what I mean? Like draft him late in the rounds, 18th round, 17th round. And if he does get snap shares, okay, cool. If he is getting targets, even better. I mean, Cam Ward came out and said himself that he loves Gunnar Helm, and he likes getting the ball to him. He feels like he needs to get the ball to him. So that there.
So Cam Ward is giving some real answers. Besides, I feel like the receivers I'm playing with, the best receivers in NFL history, just boosting his guys. Like, so is he giving real individual answers now?
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, I feel like I gotta, like, I want to get him the ball, and it makes sense. He's the perfect traditional inline tight end. The big thing with him was that he ran a 4.9 in his 40 and messed up his workout. But what happened was he false stepped when he was running his 40, twisted his ankle, and then ran the 40 again. And he basically ran the 40 with a rolled up ankle. So he didn't run fast, and that killed his draft stock.
Who was his agent? Why would he do that?
I think it was just one of those things where he was in the moment. Like, oh, okay. Like, I'm running still. Like, I messed up. I'm not about to be scared and not run. So he did, and it did what it did to his draft stock. But at the same time, Titans are happy to have him, and it looks like he's healthy now, so could be a legit weapon for them.
Nah, I agree. It's still one of the teams where it's like, if I don't know. I don't know if people are really even high on the Titans like that, where you're going to have to overdraft them. But just because a team's offense isn't slated to be good, somebody's got to put up some points. And if you believe in Cam Ward, then it should be a better offense than what we're having with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. What about the Falcons?
They didn't really play anybody. So they did play their rookies, like their pass rushers. I don't know. They probably need some more work, but they are rookie pass rushers, so that's kind of what's expected. But yeah, they sat the majority of their starters, so there wasn't really much there for the Falcons in terms of fantasy.
Yeah, can't take too much away from Easton Stick, and we're going to get into them later because they're part of the NFC South. So let's just move on to Chiefs, Seahawks. I didn't really get much from this game either. That backfield still pretty confusing. And big thing though, Rashee Rice, they're thinking about coming to some type of agreement where he might be able to just miss his games, just front load the games that he's going to miss, and then like a settlement, like kind of go from there, which I like a lot more than we're going to play the first 4 games and then he might be out 8 to 10 games. So I just don't know when we're going to have that information available. What did you hear about that?
Okay, so as for the game, I really liked what Seattle was doing personally. They did play with Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith-Njigba. They didn't have Kenneth Walker out there, but they had Zach Charbonnet out there. And their running scheme in general was just eating. They were eating the Chiefs up. They were eating their lunch. Zach Charbonnet broke off like 2 or 3 runs in the first drive. Like off the first drive, ended in a touchdown. But outside of that, even the backups, every backup that came in just based off the running scheme was eating. And I like to see that. You already know I'm a big fan of Zach Charbonnet. And also I like Kubiak, who's the offensive coordinator over there. I think that if he's able to, if they're able to run that scheme, that zone blocking scheme, and the O-line is able to hold up, they'll be pretty solid regardless of who's back there, and I kind of like that. As for the wide receivers, Jackson Smith and Cooper Kupp, there's been a whole big, conversation about who's going to be the slot wide receiver, who's going to be playing on the outside. Well, what he decided to do was just play them both bunched up in line. So they're essentially both playing. They're both playing slot, and they got 100% of the snaps with the 100% of the snaps with the starters. So when it comes to that, I'm kind of good. Still set on Jackson Smith-Njigba. Still love Zach Charbonnet, and even though he didn't play, really do love Kenneth Walker as one of the last hero running backs in this year's fantasy football draft. So, but outside of that, as for Kansas City, I still think I'm really, really going to go ahead and buy Xavier Worthy regardless of the situation, because whether it be we know now it's an 8-game suspension or like I don't think it was going to be 10. I think it's going to be like 8. If we know we're going to get that for the first 8 games of the season, I think by that point they'll go ahead and they'll have a complete they'll insert Xavier Worthy and they'll have a solid role for Xavier Worthy even when Rashid Rice comes back.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I like
for
the way
sure,
that I did want to say that for me personally, I wanted to see how Isaiah Pacheco looked running the football, and he caught a ball on the swing pass, and he looked healthy. And I don't need to see him running a bunch. I just need to see him running, the way he runs and show some speed, some power. He did that. He got out the game after that, and that was all I needed to see. And I hope probably that was all the coaches needed to see. If he's healthy, he's going to get the first crack at this thing. And I think right now he's going severely underdrafted. So
where would you draft him? Because we're kind of, I feel like we got a difference of opinion here. Like,
I don't got a problem drafting him in the 6th round. I have no issue drafting him in the 6th round as my second running back. Like, I didn't have a problem with him being my first running back last year, so I definitely don't have a problem this year.
Would you try to double dip and get Kareem Hunt as a handcuff by chance?
Nah. I mean, I let like it's not, and again, it's not no shade or no me personally. It's like, yeah, I'll let the older guy, I'll let somebody else take the chance on him. If Isaiah Pacheco is healthy, I know he's gonna get first crack at the backfield. If he's healthy, I don't think we have to worry about him doing bad in short yardage. If he's healthy, I don't see why he wouldn't be receiving the goal line carries. Now, if he is sucking in short yardage and he isn't getting into the end zone with the goal line carries, I can see Kareem Hunt definitely being inserted and kind of messing up that type of groove in regards to when it's a short yardage situation. But right now, I kind of got faith in everything that's going on.
You're not afraid of their 7th round pick. Ironically, Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th round pick, but Brashard Smith, it's preseason, so he's getting some burn, but and with his 3 carries, 7 yards per carry,
yeah.
I mean,
for me, it's just one of those things where like people don't realize how hard it is for these late round running backs. Like I know and we remember when it happens, but like it's really hard for them to just be the first 1 or 2 or even 3 players on the depth chart to get the crack at it. So, like Elijah Mitchell's still there. I think that one day they're going to, use him and he's going to be part of the offense. But I think today it's just not yet. Like if you want a Brashard Smith, he has the sleeper measurables. I just don't personally think that he's going to get a crack at it anytime soon until the injury bug hits Kansas City again at that position. You know what I mean? And that's just me speaking from, me personally, speaking from how Andy Reid does things and speaking of the way the health is in the backfield right now. Like Isaiah Pacheco is healthy. Elijah Mitchell's healthy. You talked about Kareem Hunt already, and then we're talking about Brashard Smith, who was a wide receiver return running back.
But why does that make you like thinking that Pacheco's going underdrafted if we have to name all these names in the first place? And then
because again, they're not going to play around. They're going to have insurance. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think it's, again, these rookie running backs, everybody's seeing them everybody's thinking about what they're doing when they're touching the football. I'm not denying the way that he plays football, and I think he can do that on Sunday. But there's more to the running back position than just you carrying the football. And especially to these coaches and these old school head coaches. I mean, again, that's what I was trying to explain to you about the Keldon Johnson. Was that his name, Keldon Johnson? Or Johnson, the one that's in Pittsburgh right now? I'm like, yeah, I think Caleb Johnson. I think he's good. I think he'd be a solid back. But at the beginning of the year, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to trust him picking up blitzes. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. And then come to find out, you know what I mean? On the day of the rehearsal, Jalen Warren is chilling. Gainwell's the one that got the first crack at the running back position, and then he's playing all the way into the third quarter. 1, because he needs to practice, and 2, because these older guys who probably he has more juice than are in front of him right now on the depth chart at the beginning of the year.
All right, so here's my thing about it, though. So you're saying he's being underdrafted. He's getting drafted similar to, like, all right, would you take Pacheco or are you taking Aaron Jones?
I'm probably taking Pacheco before Aaron Jones. But again, I'm taking Pacheco. I'm letting somebody take Aaron Jones, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my man Jordan Mason. And now I'm doing this, and I'm doing this speaking fresh because I just got my fantasy football spot. I'm picking at the 7th spot, and I've been studying the 7th spot. So like, this is coming from a place of actually like,
which league is letting you do that? Oh, you told me about this. Yeah. I don't like that.
Hey.
I don't like that. Hey. I mean, it's good for you. Like if you sharp, it's good to know. All right, you could pretty much. You probably picking like 5 seconds into the clock, like every time. Like, I got.
Right now it's slow. It's a slow process, but yeah, by the time it's time for us to draft in a few weeks, I'm gonna know what to expect. I'm gonna know what's there. Like I know where I need to, like what I'm able to do at the beginning of the rounds, when I need to start attacking certain positions, all of that. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So. I shouldn't have even asked Aaron Jones because I know you big on Jordan Mason, so that's a factor. What about RJ Harvey?
I'm letting you draft because he's going before Isaiah Pacheco, so I'm letting him go. I'm taking wide receivers when y'all take RJ Harvey.
Jaylen Warren or Isaiah Pacheco?
I'll probably be able to get a steal on Jaylen Warren, so I'll go ahead and I'll get Isaiah Pacheco first, and then around like that eighth, ninth turn, Jaylen Warren's still there. I'll go ahead and get him.
All right, so but like I don't think you high on Pacheco. All right, that's cool.
I mean, it's just like this is the same guy that was going in the 4th round, 3rd round last year.
All right, last like pick, Pacheco or Tony Pollard out of Tennessee.
They're like right next to each other. So they're right next to each other. So it's like if Pacheco is gone, I'll get Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's gone, I'll get Isaiah Pacheco.
No, nigga, you keep trying to like dance around.
I just did all of this. They're together at ADP. They're right.
Yeah, but all right, but you're up. You want a running back. Who are you picking?
If they're both there, I'll probably get Isaiah Pacheco because he's on a better offense.
All right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But at the same time, I know Tony Pollard is a starter. And again, I'm not saying this is my bell cow running back, bro. We're talking about my running back 2 here. We're not talking about like the hero running back.
Now, you just heard how not interested I am in Tennessee's offense as a whole. But we know with Tajee Spears, his recent injury, like Tony Pollard's going to be that guy. So, I mean, I feel like, especially for the length of the season, like Pacheco, I feel like he's going to be at his best in those early weeks where I feel like Tony Pollard would be, I'll be a better option. Hey, shout out to AJ. What do y'all think about J.K. Dobbins? I don't really plan on drafting him. Like, I just feel like that's an accident waiting to happen, like injury-wise. How you feel about him?
I mean, again, depending on where he falls in the draft, I don't have a problem taking him. I'm not expecting much from him. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, if he's producing and he's giving me something because it's not clicking for whatever reason with RJ Harvey, then you know what I mean? Like I want that. I want shares of J.K. Dobbins, but I do got to be mindful that he somewhat injury prone, isn't the same player he was coming out of college. But at the end of the day, I think, again, he's going to be the veteran back that they're going to trust on those important downs, whether it be 3rd down, 3rd and short yardage situations, and probably even in the 2-minute drill. I think eventually, what they might be able to do is do something where J.K. Dobbins is like Mark Ingram, and then RJ Harvey is kind of like that Alvin Kamara type role where like he don't really have to worry about going in between the tackles, short yardage situations. And then RJ Harvey's the one catching the ball out the backfield, making all the tremendous plays, breaking for 15, 20-yard gains and shit like that.
I feel that. Last thing on the Chiefs in this game, obviously Robert Tonyan, he's I like Robert Tonyan, but he's behind Noah Gray on the depth chart. Is that somebody you think that could kind of get busy like maybe later in the year? Because I feel like he's a talented player, and I feel like Andy Reid might be able to utilize him if we have some deficiencies there. But
I just think that you're going to have other options.
And I'm only saying that because he had 5 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown in this preseason game. But it's preseason. I mean,
that's like the Travis Kelce role, or they'll have Peyton Hendershot, or they'll have another tight end probably playing that. I mean, if you need to pick them up for a stream 1 week, why not? But I think there's going to be other options for you, to be honest, especially at the tight end position.
Yeah, for sure. And last thing with the Seahawks, when they traded DK Metcalf and they enlisted Cooper Kupp, I was pretty confident, like Clint Kubiak, he's going to have them both playing out the slot. I think it's going to be a very creative offense. So I definitely want piece of the Seahawks offense, because I feel like Sam Darnold, he's landed himself in another spot where things are going to be easy for him. It's going to be easy for him to kind of shine a little bit, especially with those two, that lightning and thunder combo, or you might be able to call it lightning and lightning, with Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, set up that play action, and then JSN. I know that's your boy. Yeah, that's my boy too, but that's really your boy. So
I'm never doubting. I'm not going to doubt JSN.
All right. Next up, we have where we at? Dolphins, Lions. Your boy Achane, injury concerns already, man. You still high on Achane, man?
I don't like the injuries, but at the same time, it's like, well, let's go, Jalen Waddle, you up. You know what I mean? It was just like that. Like it's just like you gotta adjust. It's like, damn, he hurt. They said it's day to day. If he falls, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the risk on him. But again, it looks like the most dependable player on this Dolphins offense is going to be Jalen Waddle. So that's just something to consider.
Yeah, and side note on that backfield, keep an eye on Ollie Gordon. 10 runs, 50 yards, so 5 yards a carry. Jalen Wright, non-factor, fast kid, but he's just not a good football player in my opinion. So I would avoid him, especially if you get an Achane and you're trying to handcuff something. I would go Ollie Gordon there. And we know how important these running backs, especially being able to pass catch, will be in this Mike McDaniel's offense. I think the big thing with this offense this year is, can you adjust to the league kind of catching up with you with these motions? And like Tyreek Hill said, man, you going to be able to beat that cover 4 and cover 2, or what are you going to be able to do?
I think it's Tyreek need to be. Tyreek got his own issues, man. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm just like the more that's happening with Miami, the more I'm kind of like really, really fucking with Jalen Waddle, especially where he's going. Like I'm a huge fan of Jalen Waddle, where he's going.
I like Waddle a lot too. But low key, I feel like Tyreek, if people are kind of down on him, like the sentiment just feels overall down on him, I feel like he could be some good value if he falls a little bit and kind of surprise people and kind of get back to form potentially, because Mike McDaniel's first year there, they were cooking with the Lions per usual. I don't really have much more on them. Didn't really start many people. You got anything else, or you want to go?
It looks like Isaac Tesla is kind of all right. Like he's going to be a solid football player. It might not be somebody that you're using in fantasy right now, but they love him and he balls. So they traded up for him. They like him. They need a solid wide receiver 3. Looks like they found their guy. So, Yeah, someone I guess if you want to think about anybody that was playing in that game, you can consider Isaac Tesla, but outside of him, nobody else really.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Packers Colts. All right, this one's pretty important. My boy Tyler Warren. I need a piece of Tyler Warren in one of my leagues. I'm in about 3 leagues. How many leagues do you win this year?
I try to keep it simple, so like probably just 3.
3, yeah. I think the most leagues I've ever been in was 5, and I hated it, bro. I hated it. I was like, this shit is low key ruining fantasy for me, bro. Like
at that point, you're like rooting against players that you need to like that you have on your team, and it's trash. I don't like doing that. I don't like having.
Yeah.
And then every time you look at a league, you got to check all these leagues to see if the guy that went off, if you were playing him or if you got him.
And then one of the weeks you might be hungover and you forget to hit the waiver wire in one of the leagues, and you let your opponent scoop somebody that if you were more locked in, you would have blocked them. Shit like that happens. I'm in 3 leagues this year. Shout out to Waves, doing a 14-team league for the first time in a while. But
crazy.
Yeah, I know. With that one, my place is set. I'm in the back end of the draft with that one. I think I'm like pick 13. So that's going to be interesting. With that, it makes sense to have the picks kind of ready because it's like, bro, it's 14. Like, we kind of need some strategy in this bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Packers though. Your boy Marshawn Lloyd, I don't know, man. He might be made out of glass, but what that does tell me is Josh Jacobs is going to be a smash pick. I'm definitely going to be targeting him in the 2nd round. And then Emmanuel Wilson seems like he'll take that little backup role, and that'll be like your traditional handcuff situation because a lot of these teams, those handcuffs are going in like the 10th, 11th round, 8th, 9th round, where you're probably not going to be able to get them. You're going to have to trade for them. I like the Packers situation because, once again, I think the Packers are going to win their division. That's my prediction. And I want a piece of that offense. Matt LaFleur, I think he's a wizard. And I feel like with Matthew Golden being a potential future true wide receiver 1, even though, you might be a little bit skeptical, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Yo. And, give me a lot of Josh Jacobs, man. Give me a lot of Josh Jacobs. Besides that, on the Colts end, I'm assuming Anthony Richardson's going to get this start, man, but both him and Daniel Jones are super inconsistent. What I do know is it looks like Tyler Warren is going to be a very consistent option for these boys. And so that's someone I definitely want. Josh Downs, he's dealing with a minor injury. I'm still pretty high on him overall, but that's him, Warren, JT. That's who I want from this offense. I feel like no matter if it's Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, they'll be able to get them boys the ball, be able to hand it off to JT, be able to, get the ball to Tyler Warren. Before Darren Waller got hurt, I think he was like leading the league in receiving yards for tight ends with Daniel Jones. So I think both him and Anthony Richardson are going to be fully able to make something shake there, especially since last year the best you were dealing with was like Mo Alley Cox. And sometimes those Colts tight ends was doing some work for you in fantasy a little bit. So it's a major upgrade.
They had like 3 tight ends have over 400 snaps. So I get why they were so gung-ho about getting them a tight end. And, Tyler Warren seems like he's the alpha tight end, alpha offensive player in that room. So, right now it looks like that 10th round pick, him as a 10th round pick is a steal. Could be something similar to the Brock Bowers situation. Maybe not as lucrative, but definitely for sure you're going to get value if you get him in the 10th round where he's going right now.
Right. Josh Jacobs to how do you feel about that's the Dolphins. So Jordan Love, is that somebody? I feel like I keep asking you this, but I mean, it's an important division to really target. Is Jordan Love somebody that you're looking to mess with? I feel like he's going to have a really good year.
I mean, again, like I don't really like because there's so many quarterbacks. I'm cool with if I miss out on Dak and I miss out on Drake May. I'm cool with a little bit of Jordan Love or even Caleb for real. Like there's CJ Stroud even like bro. There's very few quarterbacks that I'm just not trying to like. I'm good on drafting. It's like once I just know for a fact that if I'm not getting no Lamar or no Josh Allen, which odds are I probably aren't, I'm trying to get Dak and that 10th round, 10th, 11th round. But if someone snags him, takes him, cool, more power to you. I'm just going to keep on loading up my roster, and in the 14th round or 13th round, whatever it is, I'm just go ahead and snag me a little quarterback that's starting. I mean, I like Green Bay's schedule. Like you said, I think that they're going to be a good team, and if they are, they're going to score points, and Jordan Love's going to be the quarterback. So, I mean, he was injured last year, and he pretty much averaged anywhere between like 17 to 18 points when he was playing. So I don't think that him now healthier and also willing to run, I don't think that he's going to do worse than he did last year.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You got to worry about his health. But then again, if you're getting like Jordan Love in your draft, from our last mock draft, I think it's very apparent that if I don't hit on any of those top 4 or 5 quarterbacks, I'll probably double dip in quarterback because there's so many of them. And that Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love type of tier. And I feel like we should definitely do like a quarterback / tight end rankings here. Once we're done with the divisions and it's like a week left before everyone's really hitting their fantasy drafts, you shouldn't be hitting those drafts until about August 29th, August 30th.
Well, starters are going to play next week. Starters aren't going to play next week. So you could technically draft this week, but still.
I mean, but what if somebody gets hurt in practice or something?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's still just better to wait.
Yeah. No, definitely. Besides that, any other – so funny about both of these teams, it's a lot of different pass catchers you could go with. For both of these teams, anyone you're targeting, me personally, it's Matthew Golden, it's Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren from the Colts, Josh Downs, and that's pretty much it. It's a short list for both these teams. Like, are you going after a Michael Pittman or an Adonai Mitchell at all?
I mean, not really, just because the quarterback plays so abysmal. I just think Josh Downs is a good wide receiver, so I don't mind taking him. And I mean, he's kind of target proof the way that he plays, and or quarterback proof. And I think Tyler Warren's the same thing. Him playing as a big tight end in the middle of the football field. I think they're just going to target him, so he's going to be peppered with targets also. So they're cool. Tucker Kraft is one of those late tight ends I don't mind taking a shot on. Not really worried about tight end though. Like every time, whether I want to take one early or I want to take one late, there's always one there when I need to draft the tight end. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to not leave the draft without Mark Andrews, at least drafting at my 7th spot. So, and I don't have a problem with that. And that's not to mention Jake Ferguson, Tucker Kraft, like you're saying. Yeah, I just think they're in that tier, and I don't mind having to draft them if they're there.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the deepest we've seen the tight end position fantasy wise. Like it's pretty deep.
It's not that it's deep, it's just that it's clumped together. Like it's just a bunch of guys that's like, you know what I mean, that's able to get you anywhere between 8 to 12 points regardless of the week. You know what I mean? Like you don't know if they're ever going to come through with like 2 touchdowns and 89 yards or, be on some Brock Bowers type shit where they were like balling real crazy with 10 receptions for 169 yards and a tutty, something crazy like that. But it's just like they're solid tight ends that based on the offensive system, they're guaranteed to generate at least anywhere between 8 to 12 points,
Yeah, for real. All right, next up we got the Patriots versus the Vikings. Patriots are an interesting team, man. I definitely feel like they're going to do better than the Dolphins. Big Drake May guy, of course. We spoke about the backfield a little bit, but in terms of pass catchers, like I know Pop is your boy, but how I'm good. Like if I, it'll probably be for me Drake May or someone from that backfield. More likely Travion Henderson if he's able to fall to me, but I don't know, man. I feel like this team is going to go past expectations, like their win total and whatnot. But I can't really trust who Drake may. I feel like he's really going to be playing point guard out there. I feel like he's going to be able to spread the ball around
Did you
a
watch
lot
it?
to like.
Did you watch any of this game?
Nah, this one I didn't catch.
Okay, he looking for Pop. It's good. It's good.
You mean you're looking for Pop?
It's good. I saw what I needed to see. So it's like, all right, bet.
He had no targets.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a target. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, I watched the game. I watched it. I'm like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. But it was a bad ball, but he was wide open and they didn't connect on it. But yeah, he had 2 targets. They had 2 targets, and I was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And that was with the first team. So I'm like, all right. Like again, it's one of those things like when I watch, I see things that it's like, all right, you got to knock the rust off. Like Nico Collins and CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had Nico Collins wide open down the sideline. You know what I mean? Would have been a touchdown, but they missed each other. But I was like, hey, I bet he able to get open and he's seeing it and he's throwing it. And it's like, yeah, obviously it's week 2 of the preseason. Might be a little bit of rust there. But, you know, by the time we get to week 1, 2, 3 of the real season, that's probably right in the bucket. And he walking in for a touchdown. So it's just, again, when I watch, it's like I want to see what I want to see. I want to see Nico running those type of routes, getting open, and I want to see CJ throwing that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
so it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like I want to see, all right, who are you targeting? Are you targeting Pop? Oh, y'all just missed. That was a little sporadic ball. Okay. And I mean, I might be wrong, but I saw it was number 3. It was number 3. Yeah, he did it to him twice, and one of them was a high ball where he caught it, but he caught it. I think he caught it out of bounds. So I'm just like, all right, and he's open, and that's the most thing. He was like, he had hella separation on both of these throws across the middle and on the sideline. So it's like, I'm cool.
What did you see from their first round pick, Will Campbell?
That his arm length doesn't matter right now. I mean, you know, it depends on. We'll see more when he plays better pass rushers. But in that particular game, he held up well. Drake May was comfortable. He was moving around in the pocket still, but, you know, he's a mobile quarterback, so that's what he's going to do. O-line just really did look like it was holding up pretty well. Drake May felt comfortable back there, and he was making some throws. Again, Travion Henderson runs the ball 4 times for 20 yards and a touchdown. And again, even with that, I like the fact that he ran a wheel route. Travion Henderson ran a wheel route, and he actually was open on it, or he would have been able to catch it, but the linebacker held his arm. They didn't call the pass interference, but I'm like, all right, it's okay, because all they were doing in practice was talking about how he goes crazy on wheel routes. He goes crazy on wheel routes. And it's like, all right, well, I want to see you run one in the game. And for him to run one in the game and for him to get targeted on it, it's like, bet, okay. He's going to get some catches out the backfield. And then we saw what he did running in between the tackles at the goal line to get the touchdown. Now, granted, Ramondre didn't play because he's injured. And he will have a role, especially at the beginning of the season. But I think also Travion Henderson is going to have a role off break too, like a serious role.
What's good with JJ McCarthy, man? Where is he at?
I mean, what do you mean?
Where is he at?
It was Sam Howell. I think I saw Sam Howell playing.
Yeah, I know, but where is JJ McCarthy at? Is he hurt or something?
No, I mean he played the first game. He already played. You know, they probably just sat him. They saw what they needed to see. We're good. Like, he did get injured in the preseason last year. So They probably were like, all right, bet. We saw what we wanted to see. He got his 2-3 drives in. He got it in with Jordan Addison. They drove down the field. They got field goals, and we don't need to see no more for preseason.
I guess, man. I need to see some more. I need
Yeah.
to see some more. That's why, like,
watch them in practice. You know what I mean?
I don't know with the Vikings, man. I feel like they definitely should have had a better insurance policy in. But hey, I guess we'll see with them boys. With the Vikings, business as usual. You know what to do. Jordan Addison, he's out for the first 3 games. Might be able to get him a good value because of that. You know how I feel about my boy Lil TJ. And then Jay Jettas, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones. You're higher on Jordan Mason, but I'm in full PPR for all my leagues, man. I need the pass catching ability that Aaron Jones brings. Despite the injury history, I feel like that's kind of who I'm targeting, but I'm not mad at you for being so high on Jordan Mason, though. Because clearly, like you said, they went out of their way to go get him, and they could have. I mean, they didn't have many picks, but
and they gave him $7 million guaranteed. You know what I mean? It was like they traded for him, and then they instantly gave him $7 million guaranteed off the top. So it's just kind of like, we have a role for you. And I know it's not 15 mil. It's not like James Cook money, but he's never been a James Cook player. He never even played a full season, you know what I mean, running the football. So for them, they clearly see something in him, and they decided to trade capital for him and then also extend him, giving them $7 million guaranteed. Sometimes it's as simple as following the money. You know what I mean? And I just think that they're going to be a good 1A, 1B tandem. You know, if you prefer Aaron Jones, cool. If the other person prefers Jordan Mason, cool. But nonetheless, I think the Minnesota Vikings is going to kind of do its thing, do what it's always been doing since O'Connell's been there.
All right, last one before we get into the next game. Tell the audience why you're so infatuated with Pop Douglas real quick. I got to go grab something.
There's not much for me to say. It's just I think he's going to be a good PPR, and he goes late in drafts. Not like it's nothing crazy. It's not nothing crazy, but yeah. Shoot, I ain't even got nothing prepared for this shit. Let me see what we got here. Let me see what I can pull up. Let's see what the ADPs, the updated ADPs are right now. Let's see what we got going on. Let's go wide receivers. Some ADPs. See. Right now, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are going back-to-back, 56 and 57. Zay Flowers is going at 58. Man, I don't know what we're going to do with Kansas City, but what I do think is that this is going to be one of those years where Kansas City goes crazy. I definitely think they're going to go crazy in the offense. I think this is a year where they're going to try to connect on the deep ball a lot. And that's why I think that Xavier Worthy is going to always constantly have a role within the offense, even when Rashee Rice gets back. And I already know that he's comfortable in that Rashee Rice role based off of the run that he had at the end of the year onto the Super Bowl. So yeah, them going at 56 and 57 overall is interesting for sure right now.
What you talking about?
Just the ADPs of Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
All right. Back to it. Browns, Eagles. Your boy Dylan Gabriel, think he got baited into a certain comment. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I seen it, but I mean his coach talked like that too. He definitely got baited because he caught himself, not realizing that he was talking on the sideline at halftime it was kind of one of those things where he realized like, oh, I mean, I'm talking to you now, so obviously like this is part of the gig, this, that, and the other thing.
This is what we're talking about.
Do you share that with everybody at home?
Yeah, I think it's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this big game, but it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best team that I can and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all I want to do.
I mean, who do you think the locker room's rallying behind, personally?
Not him. And if I was him, I would have. If I was him, I would definitely have, some animosity, chip on my shoulder. So I get why he's talking the way that he's talking. He feels like he's working and he's not letting, the oral farming or engage baiting photos and all of those clips get to him. So, I just think that's what it was. It's unfortunate because he did have a good game. Like he played solid. He had the pick 6, but it's preseason and all these guys have dropped interceptions and balls that are supposed to be picked, they just get dropped. Andrew Mabuka, one of the best safety, actually probably the best safety prospect in the draft. Shout out to the Philly again. Pick 6, read it right, took it down the sideline, 7 points. But for after that, I thought he did good. I thought he played well. And it's just unfortunate that that's the only thing that we're going to be talking about, that comment, and not his play on the football field.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like part of the reason why Shedeur got passed up so much is you are inviting this type of situation unless you had a clear defined plan where we're not going to be talking about this, but we're going to dissect every little thing that the other guy that went 2 rounds before you, what he's saying about the situation. So, I mean, you remember what I said about him last stream?
No, what'd you say?
I said he's a little off to me. Like he's a little,
I mean, he's a quarterback's son. His dad was a quarterback, and I just, the Oregon coach used to say some slick shit too over there in Oregon when they were trying to play Ohio State and Penn State, and they were, getting smashed out. So I just think it's probably part of his personality. Came out at the wrong time, but it's a lot of football to be played, and it's just unfortunate that Cleveland got him involved in that soap opera, bro. He didn't really ask for this, but he's here now, and just like Shedeur got to learn how to handle it, he does too.
I mean, I feel like Shedeur's handling it really well. Side note, but yeah, Joe Flacco named as starter. Not too surprising. It's just the easy way to go. When is Deshaun Watson supposed to return?
I mean, he's not returning until next year. He's out for the season. So it was a setback too. I mean,
the fuck he showing training videos for?
Well, I mean, because you got a rehab, but
we good on that, man. Just stay out of the massage parlors and we'll be good, man. Isaiah Bond on the team, he has to catch up workout wise. But we have a trade with Philly. They just got John Mechie from the Texans. You think he's going to make an impact? If you don't know the history on John Mechie, he actually played alongside Devontae Smith at Bama. And his first year with the Texans, he had to deal with cancer, beat it. So, I mean, shout out to him for that. But I don't know, man. As an NFC East fan, as a Giants fan, I hate when I see Philly make trades because sometimes it feels like, man, what do they know? But, I mean, Jahan Dotson wasn't really going.
Yeah, they take these flyers all the time. Like we don't remember when it doesn't work, and you don't forget it when it does. When the Mekhi Bectons of the world hit and the Zach Browns of the world hit, you don't forget that. But even last year, who did they trade for? They traded for Michael Huff, and he was like inactive. He was inactive for the Super Bowl.
Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff. Yeah, Bryce Huff. He was inactive for Super Bowl, and I don't think he even really was playing throughout the entire year. But it's the fact that they do it. Like a Cowboy fan was complaining, why is people always helping the Eagles? And it's like, bro, they don't think that they're helping the Eagles. They're doing a deal. You want John Mechie, and right now he's kind of being phased out of our offense. You think he still has something. You offering me a tight end, and
they did draft 2 receivers.
Yeah,
draft 2 receivers.
So you know what I mean? It's like, all right, yeah, we'll give this guy a shot in another town. They did it with Jahan Dotson, and everybody was in an uproar about that one too. And it's like maybe these guys just don't gel for wide receiver 3. Like, for whatever reason, Philly can hit on everything else in the world, but they cannot find a wide receiver 3. And they turn over every single stone trying to find that wide receiver 3. I don't know if you remember, but there was a year where they had Julio Jones active for a game.
Of course I remember.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll turn over any stone trying to find somebody to play that role. And this is just Philly being Philly. If it works, they'll look genius. If it doesn't, we'll forget about it.
We'll forget about it, and everyone's still going to sing that, which they should, you know.
Right, but that's just good work. It's the reason I don't think we care necessarily about the outcome. It's about the effort. It's like, oh, okay, they see a problem within their offense or within their team, so they're going to try to fix it. Whereas, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm watching us need help at D tackle or a position, whatever position it may be, and it's like, oh no, it's okay. Miles will be fine, or we wait till the last minute to get it fixed, or we try to fix it with some cheap, stupid ass solution. You know, it's just, I think that's more why people always fill up in arms about, you know, when Philly makes these trades. But in reality, bro, they just turn over a rock. If John Mechie was worth something, we would have seen him play more. Simple as that.
Yeah, and you know, they took a flyer on Aziz, who, you know, he got a sack in this game. So yeah, they always throwing these flyers out, and you have to commend always trying to get better, even though you were the Super Bowl winner, instead of just being like, all right, you know, we're just going to go to status quo. This worked last year. We're not going to take too many risks. They're always swinging for fences. So
with them, they don't have a problem with admitting when they're wrong. They're like, oh, okay, we were wrong with this pick, so now we got to get somebody else in here. Whereas everybody else has a problem with admitting, like, damn, we were wrong when we signed this player, or we were wrong when we drafted this player or traded for this player. Philly don't harp over that. They're like, yo, we were wrong. Let's move on. Let's find a different solution.
Also, A.J. Brown might not be ready for week 1. That might be also a part of it. Any update on A.J. Brown?
I mean, he's just not practicing yet. So it's concerning. Definitely probably falling in people's draft boards. Again, it scares me when it's a soft tissue injury, like a hamstring. And you know, because
your boy H-Chan dealing with some soft tissue shit, but you
that's
still
what I'm saying,
him.
Right? It's like that can linger. You know, Justin Jefferson is dealing with it too. I'm sure he's going to bounce back, but nonetheless, either you bounce back and you're healthy, or it lingers. Nico Collins dealt with a hamstring injury last year. We thought it was going to be a little 2-week, 3-week situation, and it was about 6 games. It was like it felt like he was out the first quarter of the season. You know what I mean? And so it's just one of those things to be mindful of. Again, he can bounce back from it. When he's fine, he's going to cook, but it's just, how's he feeling? You know? So it's just something you got to monitor, especially if that's somebody that ends up on your roster.
Yeah, and Quinshon Judkins, he's cleared of charges. Doesn't have a contract yet. I still think the NFL is doing their investigation with him. But if they do happen to sign him, he's back. He's back on my radar personally. They got him in the second round for a reason. He's really supposed to be the guy there. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see with that. Besides that, why didn't Dylan Sampson get any burn? Browns are an interesting team, man.
So, I mean, Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson, they sat because the starters sat. So just, you know, and last week before the situation came out with Quinshon Judkins, it was Dylan Sampson that was getting the first team reps. So do with that information what you may. They did draft 2 running backs, one being Judkins and the other being Dylan Sampson. I think Judkins is a more of a 3-down back, but I don't know if they're going to have a problem using Dylan Sampson immediately if they have to. They need juice on offense, and they got Joe Flacco back there. So I don't know, I don't know how much they want him really throwing the ball and all of that. So
why are you acting like Joe Flacco didn't get them to the playoffs?
I mean, bro, look, everybody like watches quarterback play and sees different things. If you see Joe Flacco and you would be cool with him being a starter for your team, all right, I respect you, more power to you. Me personally, I would not be a happy camper. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he can very well prove me wrong and be comeback player of the year again, but like I really, really don't see it happen.
I don't know, man. That's Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco you talking about.
Yeah, it is. No bet. I'm not taking that away from him, but like, I just if he might ball, bro, but I just don't see it. Not everybody can be Tom Brady. Not everybody can be slinging the pill at 40.
Yeah, for sure. Next game, Panthers Texans. I really want to get into the Texans because Joe Mixon, not sure if he's going to be ready week 1. So I like what I saw out of Woody Marks. This is one I did actually get to catch. 7 carries, 40 yards, nearly 6 yards per carry. You have Nick Chubb there. How you feel about drafting this backfield? Like, what is your strategy? Because it's the Texans. So you want a piece of this Texans offense in that extremely weak division where we don't know what's going on with the Colts quarterback situation. So you might, you get 2 games, you get 5 games, 5 pretty good games out of this Texans offense. I want a piece, but who you taking out of this?
I mean, I think you probably don't remember, but a few weeks back, I kind of mentioned Woody Marks as the guy that I would take in this backfield just because simply he has the most juice. The pass catcher out the backfield, that's what he was known for. But also, I mean, when he was running in between the tackles, I know he's going against the second and third teams, but I mean, if you see him run and then you see Nick Chubb run, you understand where I'm coming from here. One guy just has more juice. The younger guy has more juice. And I think that this Texas offense is, like you said, going to be a pretty above average offense, decent schedule. And yeah, I'm good with taking Woody Marks where he's at. Maybe if I was really serious about the backfield, and like I know for a fact, which I feel like is the case, that Joe Mixon is not going to be playing for a while, probably not until October, maybe even after Halloween, I would go ahead and take the late round flyer on Nick Chubb, and also just draft Woody Marks too. They're going in places where you can literally get them both. Like, I mean, right now Woody Marks is like 176 ADP. I can check it real quick. I'm looking. Let me see.
And a lot of these guys, we just want to put on your radar. Like, you're going to continue to hear these names as we get closer to week 1. And the Joe Mixon situation's unfortunate, but
yeah, he's the running back 75 right now. He's going at 271, basically. Like, and sleeper, he's the running back 59. But yeah, for the most part, he's not even ranked in the majority of the places. So you, again, one of those guys where if you want, you can take a late round. You can literally take the last round flyer on Woody Marks and still have your pick of Joe Mixon if you're willing to wait that long, or Nick Chubb if you feel like he might have some juice at the beginning of the season.
Okay. Like you said earlier, Jaden Higgins, he seems like he's taking a backseat to Xavier Hutchinson a bit. So he kind of fell in my rankings overall. I'm still interested in him as a talent, but we kind of saw what was good with the Texans, like, receiver room last year. They just got rid of Mechie. So that at least tells you they're confident in these core guys. And I feel like CJ Stroud's just going to have a bounce back year. I think we're going to see a lot of good things out of CJ Stroud. And I would just keep an eye on Christian Kirk. I feel like he's being under talked about. Is that someone you're targeting yourself? Because out the slot, I think he could be really effective in this offense.
Yeah, I mean, I like him just based off the fact that he's a savvy vet. And if he's healthy, he's good to go. Savvy vet last year with Stephon Diggs. If you're saying that essentially Kirk is going to be in that same role, I'm good with it. Not based off where he's drafted. I don't need a lot from him. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm expecting him to be my wide receiver 2 or even my wide receiver 3. Basically going as a wide receiver 5 right now. So he's one of those guys that if, you're dealing with the Rashid Rices of the world, you're taking flyers on, maybe you take a flyer on Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, one of those players that isn't going to be starting the season, but they're going to be off a pub in the middle of the season. You can maybe, have Christian Kirk balling right now, have those guys resting on IR, and then, when it runs its course with Christian Kirk, because odds are he might not make it through the whole season. He's a little older of a football player. And I remember the last time that he has even finished the season. So you can kind of let him play, do his thing at the beginning, and then ease up off him or trade him to somebody else in your league after he has a solid game. And, insert some of these other guys, maybe some of these rookies as they start to come on later on in the season, even if you this could be part of your contingency plan with Rashid Rice for real. So he definitely has a role on anybody's team. I think he's going to be one of those guys. Remember how Adam Thielen is like over the past few years with Bryce Young? Adam Thielen's kind of been helping people at the beginning of the year. I think Christian Kirk can be.
He was helping people all year, low key. You just be hitting on my boy Adam.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like as a savvy wide receiver, and these young quarterbacks love them. Like they do. They love them. They respect them. They're dependable. They're going to be.
They learn a lot. They learn a lot from them too.
Yeah. So I mean, I really don't have a problem with Christian Kirk, especially where he's going. I mean, where I can look at this. He's over here freaking. He's going with Keenan Allen, Marvin Mims, Luther Burden, Marquise Brown, Rashid Bateman, Adam Thielen, Xavier Leggett, and your boy Wandell. Like. We're talking 135.
I mean, you went through that pretty quickly, but I think I'd rather have Christian Kirk over like damn near all those names.
Right. That was
if he could stay healthy, obviously, but I mean, you can put that asterisk on anybody just because somebody could have no injuries for their entire career. They're still open to getting injured eventually.
Like maybe I would consider Rashad Bateman over Christian Kirk. Maybe, but I don't even know in a PPR league because if Christian Kirk's out there, I feel like he's like out there as a security blanket.
Right. Nah, I mean Rashad Bateman's one of those players that he's better in half PPR or standard.
Yeah.
To be honest, so you got to also pay attention to that. Is he like more of a big play down the field option, especially with a run first, run heavy offense like the Ravens have? But Rashad Bateman, I mean, we'll get into him, but I'm pretty high on him. That's someone I'm also targeting in the first place. Between him and Christian Kirk, that's a good one. I feel like we should have an episode that's purely like the most common who would you rather, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a who would you rather type game. But
like Saquon versus Bijan type shit.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when we get closer to, because these are the picks that's going to decide if you're going to come up in your league or you got to go do some humiliation ritual because you came in last place.
Facts.
At the end of the day. So the Panthers backfield though, Travis's brother, Trevor Etienne, from what I saw, he doesn't look that good. I mean, he got the most carries on the team, about 2.5 yards per carry. This is the Chuba Hubbard show, in my opinion. But with the Panthers, I do feel like they're a sleeper in the NFC to potentially get a wild card spot. I feel like they could at least come second in this division. And with this division, it's really up for grabs if Bryce Young could catch fire early and take off with it, even though I'm not getting off the Bake Show. The Bake Show, it's been a great show. He's been cooking a lot. And I feel like they've been loading him with weapons. Even when, I mean, it's kind of crazy because when they got Ibuka in the first round, you know how I felt about it. I love the pick now.
Right.
Love the pick now, especially with what's going on with Chris Godwin. So, I mean, besides that with the Panthers, obviously, once again, Ted McMillan, definitely targeting him. I feel like he fits perfectly in this offense. Your boy Rico Dowdle, though. You're not taking a fly on Rico?
I mean, he's the third down back. He's the third down back, and like it's interesting because I think he might just get a little bit in the way of what Chuba Hubbard's doing. I think Chuba is definitely going to be the one toting it the most. But I don't know if there's going to be a bell cow. It seems like they want to have running back by committee there. And I'm just kind of interested to see how the snap share works because Rico was getting the third down snaps, but Chuba is going to probably be the primary back. And I mean, I do think Chuba is good. So as long as he's getting anywhere between 15 to 18 touches, I think he does his thing in fantasy. But definitely a backfield I'm kind of trying to avoid. If I have to get Chuba, I'll do it. But I prefer a few guys over him.
Oh, so you're not high in Chuba. That's not someone you're targeting. That's kind of someone I'm targeting a bit.
It's not based off of him and his talent. It's just based off of that situation. I think they want to get both backs involved. And I think they always plan to get multiple backs involved. They just never got the chance to last year due to the fact that Jonathan Brooks was constantly injured.
Rico Dowdle, I was seeing his contract. They got him for a pretty cheap deal, but I just peeped. This is his hometown. Would you have liked to retain him for the price that y'all got him for? Because how much did y'all pay Javonte Williams? Something similar?
Yeah, but it was basically a situation where they thought he needed more. So they just didn't even offer him.
So do you think – I mean, we know the potential of Javonte Williams, but –
no, I mean, I would have rather have Rico, but again, it was just one of those situations where they thought Rico's open market price was going to be around $8 million, and they didn't want to pay that much. And I'm pretty sure they got Javonte Williams from like the vet minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically it's like petty bull.
What was he? So. Was his contract up and he hit free agency, Rico?
Yeah, he was a free agent. Yeah,
okay, so I think he just wanted to go back to his hometown, low key.
Well, I mean, I would have too. After that situation they did with Zeke.
Right. Yeah. Like, let me get out of this clown show and go to where I'd be really appreciated. Go see the folks, you know?
Yeah. So, you know.
All right, let's get into this is a good one. Niners, Raiders. I got a lot to say about these teams. For one, Genty, look, man, I need me. This is I'm probably going to do like, I wouldn't say a tier list, but maybe like a ranking or maybe just a list of like my guys, like who are some of my guys that I'm actually thinking is worth the ADP that's being underdrafted. I'm sure I know you definitely got a bunch of your own guys. But we saw some good stuff out of Genty, some of that ability to break tackles and just be shifty out there in the open field. We saw that from him after, first week we weren't really able to see that. But the big thing to me is I think a sleeper that you might want to pay attention to later in the draft is Dante Thornton, who they got in, I believe, the 4th round. The kid is 6'5", 205, ran a 4.3 flat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of potential for if they do with Geno what I think they're going to want to do. I think that somebody could get real active in this offense, and you kind of have defined roles there. Brock Bowers is your wide receiver one for sure. Then you have Jacoby Myers out there. Trey Tucker, he's more of your speedy, downfield option. And then this Thornton kid, I think he might perform better. I think he might beat out the kid that they got in the second or third.
That's what I was. We
Jack
talked.
Beck.
Yeah, this was the cut I was mentioning last week when I was telling you that Jack Beck wasn't getting no run. It's because of him, 4th round pick. But again, this is and they're making him do the same thing he did when he was at Tennessee. Just go deep, run curls. So it's not like they're making him do anything that he wasn't already used to doing. Big play wide receiver, big body, get it up there. DK Metcalf, throw those DK Metcalf type balls, and hopefully he can come down with it. If he can, that would definitely be a game changer for them in this offense.
Yeah. Is Geno somebody that you might be targeting in that Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jordan Love type area your draft?
I mean, like, not ideally, but again, if I ended up with Geno Smith, I wouldn't trip. Like, I wouldn't trip. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's on the offense. He threw a beautiful ball to Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers made a beautiful catch. Like we just talked about, Jacoby Myers is still there. I think this is a solid offense. Chip Kelly's going to get these boys right. I think that even Genty's going to probably be due for like 300 plus touches. So it's just we'll see what they do. We'll see how good it is. But I mean, the studs on this team, I don't have a problem with playing any of the studs or drafting any of the studs on this team.
And by studs, you mean Bowers, Genty? Would you say there's any other studs?
Bowers.
I like Jacoby Myers as a talent.
I definitely think Jacoby Myers is somebody that slept on. Like, I definitely think he should have like a wide receiver 2 value, and he's kind of going as like a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 based off of, Jacoby Myers. Like, he's just one of those guys that he just falls by the wayside. Not a lot of people are watching Las Vegas play football, and then it's not like Jacoby Myers was like this big name coming up. It was like with the Patriots, but he was with the Patriots when they were falling off. And then he came over to Raiders, always produced for him, always been a solid fantasy football asset, but never too flashy, not many crazy ass games, just solid. So, I mean, but you win with that. You win with guys like Jacoby Myers, especially when you get him at a good value. So I don't have a problem with him at all.
Yeah, and if you're a Patriots fan, you probably miss him low key. I mean, he would be kind of eating with what they got over there right now, besides Stephon Diggs and your boy Hunter Henry and whatnot. With the Niners, my boy Ricky Pearsall, I was high on him last year. I felt a little bit burned because I was so invested in the Niners last year, but this year, once again, they have the easiest strength of schedule. One of their issues, though, seems like one of their interior linemen, Dominic Pooney, he's dealing with some injuries, so I'm a little bit worried about this O-line potentially. But you know how the Niners go with what they need from their O-line to get into some of their run packages. But ironically, McCaffrey is the healthiest running back they got right now, so I'm kind of coming around back on McCaffrey, definitely more than Devon Achane. Who are you taking between them, though? Achane or you taking McCaffrey?
I already told you how I felt about McCaffrey when we first started doing this jump. Like, I got him rated as the actual, and one of like the model has it rated as the number 1 back, like the number one back. But it's like obviously I would draft Jahmyr Gibbs before I draft Christian McCaffrey. But I mean, if you're doing a mock, like if you did a mock today, or if you were mocking today, there were guys that were taking Christian McCaffrey like five before 7. Like, he was gone before 7.
Oh, these
So,
niggas think it's going to be another white boy summer, white boy fall.
but I mean, I don't know. I don't know about at 7 for sure. If he fall, if I'm able to get him in the second round, like, yeah.
What about all right? So McCaffrey or Bijan?
I'm gonna probably go McCaffrey because he's gonna catch. I know he's going to be like if he's playing. There's no Tyler Algier. There's no sharing the running back duties. Like he is the
But
number one running back.
there's no more what's his name?
There wasn't last year either, and they still shared running back duties. And Raheem Morris says that they like Tyler Algier, and they're going to continue to give him the ball. Like there was times
I saw I don't know, maybe I saw conflicting reports, but not similar to what Detroit's planning on doing with Gibbs and Montgomery, where Gibbs is going to get way more involved. But I thought I saw that Bijan's expected to get, a lion's share of the carries.
So they did say that last year in the summer too. The only thing is, like, there was times where legitimate, like Bijan was straight, and they were like, "No, we want Tyler Algier to run the ball." like nah, we want him to tote it right now. Like he has the high hand. So it's like they're not going to play out Bijan. And like I don't think they're lying when they say they want to get the ball to Bijan every which way. But also I believe that the offense over there in San Francisco, if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, this thing is Ricky Pearsall, it's George Kittle, it's Brock Purdy, and it's Christian McCaffrey eating.
Yeah, so Brandon Ayuk, he's not going to be ready to start the season, and then we're hoping that Jawan Jennings could be back for week 1. But Pearsall, I like what I saw out of him. Your boy Robbie Chosen Anderson, you got a little bit of burn. Are you dabbling in that early season? If week 1, hold on. If week 1 he goes off, or is that a waiver wire target?
No, he's not going to go. He's not going to go off because the reason that he was out there was because Matt Jones was out there. And what it goes to show you though is like Matt Jones, you don't want him being your like franchise quarterback or whatever. But as a backup, you can evaluate the wide receiver position with Mac Jones as your quarterback. So like it was perfect pitch and catch out there for him and Robbie Chosen. And like Mac Jones, in certain throws, he doesn't have a problem throwing. Like he doesn't have a problem throwing slants. He doesn't have a problem throwing hitches. He doesn't have a problem throwing the ball inside. Like he's
wait. Austin. I just put something together. Bruh. So they traded Trey Lance to y'all. Now he's on the Chargers, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. But when they traded up to draft Trey Lance, the thoughts were they might go Mac Jones. And now the Mac Jones is back up to Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant went last in the draft. Hardest position to evaluate.
Nobody knows what they're doing at quarterback. It is what it is. But like, I mean, he's straight. Like, I mean, I'm not even joking. I wouldn't be surprised if, after he does the San Francisco school, he's a starter again. He gets a shot.
What do you call San Francisco and LA? What do you call them?
Quarterback camp.
Quarterback rehab center.
Yeah, quarterback rehab. So yeah, he's gonna do his thing. And I mean, bro, he looks, I'm not even joking. He looks good. Like when backup quarterbacks are playing, you can't evaluate the damn wide receivers. Like when he's in, you can evaluate the wideouts.
Yeah, and like I low-key feel like Kyle Shanahan, that's who he wanted, but they felt the pressure of, bro, are we trading up for Mac Jones though? And realistically, where did they trade from? Like the 12th pick, and then Mac Jones went 15th to the Patriots or some shit like that. I don't really remember, but
they maybe went 10 or 10. I can't remember.
That shit is crazy because it's like you could have just sat there, got Mac Jones. Mac Jones wasn't going nowhere. Still got Brock Purdy, and then you wouldn't have gave up all those first-round picks. But, hey, Brock Purdy saved the franchise. They need to be giving that boy Brock Purdy like 2% of the franchise while he's there. Like, bro, you saved some jobs. You saved this team. I mean, he balled out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
He was balling out.
But that's what I mean though. Like they're straight. They're straight. And I think that's also another thing. I trust San Francisco's offense more than I trust Atlanta's offense. Not saying that Atlanta's not going to have a high-powered offense. I'm going with the team that I know has an easy schedule and I already know where the ball's going. I already know. So,
right.
so yeah, I'm excited.
Let's go. Oh shit, the Bengals and I didn't know there was a. Oh yeah. Damn. Bengals are up right now against the Commanders, 7-0. But let's go to the Ravens Cowboys. Your boy Joe Milton's getting some buzz, man. Your boy Joe Milton. How do you feel about him?
Look, I've always told you, even the day he got drafted, you were like, I mean, he got traded. You're like, man, you guys got Joe Milton. What the fuck? I'm like, look, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. Joe Milton got to play. We're screwed. Like, if we don't practice, fucked around here. And if the backup quarterback has to play, you're fucked. We don't practice, fuck. So, I mean, Joe Milton is what I always knew Joe Milton to be. I think it's kind of foul. He's getting a fair shake. I mean, an unfair shake because people wanted him to be this player that he never was. He was never an accurate quarterback. Like he never saw like the field like that. And how I told you that the difference between Matt Jones, when he is your backup quarterback, you're able to still evaluate your team. Like most backup quarterbacks, when Joe Milton's playing, you can't really evaluate your team. You know what I mean? And it's not nothing
really evaluating him.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't, but like if you didn't know that Joe Milton wasn't good, that's kind of on you because that's all he's essentially respectfully, that's all he's ever showed is that he's just got a big arm. He just has a live arm, but no one knows where the ball's going. You know, so it's like if you that's why he was drafted in the 6th round. So that's why we traded a 6th round pick for him. You know what I mean? Like we weren't trying to.
Speaking of late round picks, where's your boy Jaden Blue at? Y'all just saving him?
I mean, he didn't play. He has a bad heel right now, but he probably, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where I don't expect much out of the backup. I understand that like most fans, nobody loves the backup court. Like the backup quarterback is the fan favorite player on the team because he don't never play. So it's put the backup in, and then he plays, and then you realize he's ass, and that's why he's the backup. Like respectfully, that's why he's the backup. You know what I mean? And everybody, you know, you heard what Shady was saying when the trade first happened. Oh yeah, Joe Milton, he nice. That better go ahead and sell that house. This that. Like, come on, bro. It's a backup, man.
What did y'all do to LaShawn McCoy? Why he be hating so hard?
He was the Philly. He grew up in PA and he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. And he knows like that's where like he thought that's where his money was by just shitting on the Cowboys, you know, try to rage bait people. But it's like, bro, we don't really care about you. And you're the reason your girlfriend got beat up and pistol whipped. Like, we don't really care about you.
Wait, what happened?
Back in the day, this girl got beat up, pistol whipped, robbed.
What's that have to do with him? I don't remember. I'm not even trolling. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying he the reason for it. So
you know some low key shit that you.
So you know what I mean? It's just he just that's just the type of person he is, bro. So good for him.
All right, bro. The Ravens, though, they didn't really play anybody. Don't expect them to. But like we said, Mark Andrews is being pretty undervalued right now. Y'all gotta let that drop go. Like, you know, he had a bad playoff game, but he's still a big factor for why they were in that position that they were in. Like I said, I'm high on Rashad Bateman, but Zay Flowers, he's going to be, you know, probably better for PPR. And then Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. That's King Henry. And we don't throw that King name out very often. It's really like King James and it's King Henry. Well deserved for both of them. Both of them are freak athletes, freaks of nature, biological anomalies. Derrick Henry is definitely someone I'm targeting. I'm taking him over Achane. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, now HN's hurt, so it's like,
But let's say HN was fully healthy, ready to go.
yeah, I'm
Derrick
taking
Henry.
HN.
Okay.
I'm taking HN. Yeah.
Okay, man. I can't wait to draft. Bro. Just talking about that shit gets me so amped, bro. I swear. Yeah, besides that, the Ravens didn't play many people. Let's just go on to the next team. We still have a whole division to talk about. So, next, what I wanted to talk about, actually, your boy Micah. You told me that Jerry Jones has a documentary he's about to unleash, and we talked earlier, and I was like, I forgot what I said, but you explained to me that was the marketing, pretty much,
Yeah,
is all this drama.
It's all marketing. It's all marketing, man. It's all marketing. Like I speak Jerry's language. I understand what's going on, and I see the play. Tomorrow we got a Netflix series dropping, so we got to keep the Cowboys in the news. He don't realize that we don't have to do it this way anymore, so he still does, and he's mad that Micah whooped his ass in the PR battle. It is what it is. We just having fun, and probably about 10 days or so. 10 days, yeah, he'll be signed.
What's the % chance you think Micah actually gets traded?
0% chance. 0%.
Not even like a 0.05%.
0% chance, because the Cowboys have full control over Micah for close to the next 3 years. So this isn't the NBA where you get mad and you pout and you just ask to be traded and we trade you. Like, buddy, you can sit all you want, or you can sign this franchise tag, because after next year it's a franchise tag, and then they can franchise tag him again. So it's like they don't, like NFL players, they don't really have, there's no reason for him to be traded. So when they come out and they say that we're not trading Micah, that is the God honest truth. They're not trading him. Like for Trey Henderson, they've came out and said, "Oh yeah."
Sidebar. Go ahead.
For Trey Henderson,
go ahead.
For Trey Henderson, they're saying, yeah, if he's good for a first round pick, for a 2026 first round pick, you can get Trey Henderson. There is no talks like that over in Dallas, because one, you got to remember, who is if we're like one, you got to understand, Jerry loves the fact that Micah is Micah. Like, he is this big polarizing character that loves the camera, loves to talk, this, that, and the other thing. And it's cool because he's on defense. Like, there's not a lot of polarizing people like this on defense. That when you think about defense, you know what he looks like, you know how he sounds. He's a star all over the league or all over the United States. Like, it's like Ray Lewis kind of in a way. And I don't know, maybe a few others, like maybe JJ Watt, but I don't even think JJ Watt was like real. He's not real vocal like that and not all in your face.
He was just a big personality though, but in like a nice guy type of way,
like all American type of way. But like Jerry loves this type of athlete, and yeah, he can get them on offense or whatever. But very rarely do you're able to get one that can sell like Micah can on defense. So we're not even talking about the actual product in the football play. We're talking about marketing right now, and they're not going to let that. They're not going to let that side of it go. And then when you actually talk about the fact that he's a 3-time All-Pro or whatever, and all that stuff, it's like, okay, yeah, we're not letting it all go. So he's a Dallas Cowboy, and he can sit out as much as he wants to sit out. He can do it, and we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys got the rights to him. They don't need to trade him. They know if they trade him, they're not getting. They're even if you trade him, you got to trade him in hopes to get another Micah. So you know what I mean? It's just kind of you got him on the team.
That doesn't make sense.
If you're not going to pay him, then who do you pay? Who do you pay?
And y'all love playing your homegrown players, so
right.
It just makes sense that's going to happen eventually. Yo, sidebar, this Bengals Commanders game, just box score watching real quick. I don't know if you have the game up, but kind of an interesting game. The Commanders have a touchdown, not throwing no passes. Jaden Daniels, 14-yard scramble, I'm guessing, with a touchdown. And then Chase Brown has a touchdown. Joe Burrow's out there with a chase. Yeah, it seems like an interesting game. But let's get into the Battle of LA. We're going to go Battle LA following the Battle of New York. So you got the Rams and the Chargers, man. The story about the Rams right now, per usual, it feels like these past couple years and last year, I mean, he was fine. He almost beat the defending champion Eagles in that snow game. But if Matt Stafford, we need Matt Stafford healthy. It's just good for the league because he's one of those classic quarterbacks in the pocket, just straight talent, football IQ, and just some of the best tight window passes you could get in the NFL right now. He's really a throwback. But what's the latest on the injuries you're hearing for him?
I mean, he practiced today, so that's good news. Yeah,
that's good to hear.
Yeah, so
that's good to hear.
Yeah, he's back practicing today. That's what that is. As for the Chargers, Justin Herbert came out, played. Quentin Johnson got hurt, second play of the game, but it looks like right now, obviously, Ladd is killing it. Keenan Allen was out on 2 wide receiver sets. Came in on 3 wide receiver sets. This is Ladd McConkey's football team, and it looks like Amarion Hampton he's got control of the running back touches. So they said they're going to split the carries. I believe that they are, but I don't think that it's going to matter really. Majority of the carries are going to be Amarion Hampton, and he looks good. So that's even running in between tackles, making people miss, finishing forward, all of that. He looks solid. LA Chargers, they look sharp outside of the hit. And
how ironic is it? Because he should have caught that. And that's a vanilla hit right there, man. I know you were watching football when I was in the early 2010s, mid 2010s. It was getting cracked way harder than this. You should have caught that.
I mean, it's the whiplash. He didn't see it coming. Like if he catches it, he can prepare. He probably straight, but he's tracking the ball and he got hit from the other side. So
yeah, he had to get stretched. He had to get stretched out of there. But I just. Bro, stop giving him chances, bro. You got Trey Tucker on your team now. Not Trey Tucker, Trey Harris.
Yeah, and both of them were true backups in this game. Trey Harris and my guy from Auburn. They both played on the outside. Nobody played in the slot. So just if you think that they're going to come up eventually, it's going to take some time, or it's going to take an injury to Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, like in the game, for them to get their burn.
I mean, Trey Harris went crazy. 6 catches, 85 yards. That's someone that I'm low-key targeting. Like, for me right now, I'd rather get like a Trey Harris than a Jaden Higgins from the Texans. How do you feel about that? Definitely a Kyle Williams from New England, but
I mean, he's just one of the guys like me personally, I'm all right. I don't have a problem with letting somebody else draft him. You know what I mean? Like if it works out for you, congratulations. But like I'm not too worried about it.
Well, they should know by now how we feel about Amarion Hampton. Besides that, on the side of the Rams, Stenson Bennett was looking all right. Like if this is the yeah, but he was dealing with whatever mental issues that he had. I mean, the story is, they have Jimmy Garoppolo. It's kind of, no way. Okay, the stage wasn't up. Yeah, I got to put some of these bookmarks away. Anyway, that was crazy. Stetson Bennett. Did you see this?
Oh my goodness. Stetson identifies. Deep drop off play action. Wings one down the middle.
Oh my God. On a roll.
Oh my goodness. Mario Williams. Stetson.
This is what he's done since Georgia. Like
play
they,
action. Wings one down the middle. That's a touchdown.
I'm not gonna lie. If that's what we're getting out of Stetson, then fuck it. Like I'm still on Puka. I'm still on the Puka train. If that's potential backup,
it's the offense. Like I mean, it's the scheme. It is the scheme. Like Sean McVay's scheme is 0 to none. Like there's no one better than him. So yeah, like you're not you can't really fuck with them on offense in preseason. Like you just can't. It doesn't matter who's throwing the football. So
I mean, Bennett threw it 40 times
for 28 yards, right?
Yeah, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know if McVay has an affinity for what's his name? For Garoppolo. Maybe he's like, oh, I got him from my old rival, Kyle Shanahan. But
I think he's just comfortable. Again, I think he's just comfortable with him as the backup, kind of like Matt Jones, to where it's like they know more than anybody the drop off between starter and backup. And they know, like, okay, if I have this certain type of player as my backup quarterback, and my starter goes out, I'm still capable of this floor. And it's a floor that they care about. I mean, Matt Jones is San Francisco's. Jimmy Garoppolo is a backup in LA. You know what I'm saying? And they both had, I mean, well, one had Baker at one point, the other one had Sam Darnold. Like they value the position, and they're good at it. They're good. Like that's one hell of a coaching staff right there. That's one hell of a coach. So that's why I was telling you, like Jimmy Garoppolo, like he's not spectacular, and he's definitely injury prone, but he can get the ball to Devontae Adams. He can get the ball to Puka, especially if we're designing it and we're setting it up for them to have spacing to be open. He could throw the ball. So
yeah, but Devontae Adams damn near was running away from having Jimmy G be his quarterback again after what was going on in Vegas. So I don't know.
But who's the you know what I mean? Like if he wouldn't trip about Jimmy G being his quarterback if Sean McVay or the likes of Sean McVay was the one calling the plays. You know what I mean? Like there is apples and oranges. That offensive coordinator out there in Las Vegas ain't fucking with Sean McVay.
I mean, he doesn't have a job there no more.
You know what I mean? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like some people can make you listen better than others, and Sean McVay is one of those guys that probably makes you miss. Probably can make you listen.
I mean, I know you're high on it because you were getting like Devontae Adams in like the 4th round or whatever last time I checked. So
yeah, I'm just not going to lose again. Like I said, Matthew Stafford's practicing now, and even if it's Jimmy, which is the reason why he didn't play, like this is going to be business as usual.
Right. Before we get into the New York teams, bathroom break, do what you do.
Bro, I'm going pee. You gotta, I don't know what you want to do. That's crazy.
Would you have to use the bathroom too or something?
Yeah.
Why didn't you? Nigga, I could have been, I could have went solo dolo with it. All right. New York. I don't know. Are you hip to the Twitter beef we got between the fan bases right now?
Nah, bro. Nah, I'm not at the preseason beef.
Abdul Carter, he's yapping. He's definitely. I swear to God, Abdul Carter, if you start a podcast, bruh, please be your own person, man. Don't be on. You know what I mean? Basically, I'll show the clip here in a second. Did you see the way he got kind of got chip blocked by a tight end?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he was like talking shit after, like, and Jets Twitter. But yeah, takeaway from this game for me. I mean, I have a lot of takeaway for the Giants. Fantasy wise, not much changes. Tyrone Tracy's who you want right now. Cam Scatterbo still not playing. So, I mean, off the name value, like even the last draft we did, I think he still went in the 10th or whatever, which it's just like I don't know about that. Tyrone Tracy has that backfield on lock. I'm sure when he gets worked a little bit more, he might be a good option for you to invest in later. But
I mean, he might take over the short yardage because that's where Tyrone Tracy like struggled. He struggled trying to punch into the end zone, and then your boy Motor Singletary do that.
Yeah, Motor's cool, but the Giants collective, the fan base wants him off the team. Dante Turbo Miller has kind of been going crazy. Like he's like, it's usually you don't want to take too much out of preseason, but he's kind of playing so well that it's hard to ignore. So I wouldn't be surprised if he took him over on the depth chart and we started out with Tracy and Miller. Watch out for him. I mean, the type of tackles that he's breaking, and he's turning nothing into first downs. I'm talking about like 3rd and 10, juking players out. He's been real consistent. So he's looking cool. But besides that, I would focus on the usual. Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors, Jackson Dart's obviously been looking good. Don't be surprised if it turns out he's the best quarterback coming out this draft. Jackson Dart, we got another Ole Miss quarterback in here ready to take the franchise and lead them to maybe 2 more Super Bowls. But I digress. Don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Russell Wilson will be the starter. He had a nice moon ball to Bo Collins, one of our undrafted pickups. That was cool. But story of this is this Jets offense. What I noticed watching this game is they're going to be extremely run heavy, right? And Breece Hall, it seems like something of a 65-35 split we're probably going to get out of that backfield, but just know they're going to be running it a lot. And the problem I have with that when taking somebody from that backfield with the Jets is when it comes to some of those short yardage goal line situations, it might be Fields over like a Braylon Allen, who you're hoping is useful in those situations as a tandem with Breece Hall. But I guess what you could take out of it is they will be running the ball a lot, and Justin Fields not looking very accurate. It's kind of, you're seeing why he's not still in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh willing to go out on a limb and wait for Aaron Rodgers to finish a vision quest before eventually bringing him in. So, I mean, did you see this game?
Yeah, but I mean, again, it was just like, I mean, I saw that I'm targeting Braylon Allen. I'm cool on Bryce, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Braylon Allen. Even if he isn't the one catching the ball out the backfield, it's like he's like a mini Derrick Henry, and he's only 21 years old. So it's just kind of like I just like his breakout profile. I just like the profile, and like, it just seems like they don't mind moving on from Bryce, and then the other running back that they were using too, he got hurt. I just think that it's only a matter of time before Braylon Allen is touching the ball more than any of the other running backs on the roster are throughout the football game.
Damn, even Breece Hall?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, even Breece is talking like, yo, I don't like they didn't pick me, like I don't, I'm not their guy. Like, I'm not their guy, and they're at practice, and if they're enamored with Braylon Allen, size, strength, speed, age, all of this, like
he is tweeting pretty cryptically. This might be a long shot, but look out for this. I wouldn't be surprised. Would you be shocked if by the trade deadline Breece Hall's on a different team?
I mean, obviously depends on the compensation, but not really. I don't know if they'll trade him, but I do think that next year he's getting a nice contract with another team. Yes. Like, yeah, I do think next year he will be with another team, and like he's got a decent contract to do it.
Right. Now, the thing with Justin Fields is, even though he's not looking great as a passer in like year 6 or 7 or whatever, DJ Moore did have an amazing like year with him fantasy wise and in real life that last year before they opted to draft Caleb Williams. So he's been able to support a wide receiver one. I mean, Garrett Wilson got an ungodly amount of targets since he's been a Jet, and they didn't really address the receiver position. Josh Reynolds is wide receiver 2. Now, another thing is Mason Taylor, I believe their second-round pick. You know, he seems like he might be a decent little option for him. We did see Justin Fields. He was able to get the ball to Cole Kmet a bunch when he was a Bear. So I feel like a lot of people that you might be tuning into for fantasy content, they're definitely going to be off of Justin Fields. They're going to be throwing him under. But I still think Garrett Wilson is a decent option. Where he's going ADP-wise, you just have to be prepared for watching these Jets games and be like, damn, he got targeted like 12 times, but he got it like 5 times, 4 times, and it was short yardage. And like there's a highlight reel of if only he got a better placed ball, he would have went off for me. So be prepared for that potentially, but I don't know, man. It's the Jets. The only thing the only hope I have with them is Aaron Glenn being their coach now. Were you watching the game right now? Are you?
No, I'm just looking at 80. Like, I'm just like, there's no chance in hell I'm drafting Garrett Wilson.
You're not?
No.
Damn, you changed your tune already, but this is why we're doing these so often, because I feel like the last time we spoke,
it's like, all right, where he's going, it's not because of the play, it's because of where he's going. Where he's going, I'd rather attack running
he's
back.
Going high.
Yeah, he's going right next to, like, I'd rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba. They're right next to
what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? It's
turning my slip immediately for JSN over Garrett
like,
Wilson.
Where he's going, I'm no shot. And I just had to confirm to make sure I wasn't tripping. But like, yeah, where he's going as a wide receiver 1. He's going as a wide receiver 1. So you know what I mean? There's no discount on him because of the offense. You're paying up. And I mean, him and Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, I'm just respectfully, like, I'm good on. I'm not even saying that they couldn't have good seasons, good years. I'm just.
So you're good on both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have Trey McBride out of that offense and just call it a day if you're able to get him. But
yeah. So I'm good. That's why I was looking to make sure I wasn't tripping. But yeah, it is what it is. Like, everything that you said is right, but everybody already knows that. So that it's already baked into the ADP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. I mean, these are 2 New York teams. You know what you're getting into with these offenses, even though I will say this Giants O-line is someone as a Giants fan, as a diehard Giants fan, It's the best. Like, this is the most promising O-line that we've had in some time. Our O-line coach that we got from the Raiders, 2 years ago, it's going to be his second year with us. He seems like he's doing this thing. Evan Neal, we kicked him in the guard, but they've been pretty good this preseason. Like, they're not allowing any pressures or anything like that. So don't be surprised if the Giants' offense is better than expected, but do have an extremely tough schedule, so it kind of offsets itself a little bit. But yeah, we can get into the Steelers Bucks. Caleb Johnson, 11 carries for 50 yards, man. You sleep on my boy. I feel like you've been hating on my man's a little bit.
No, man,
My man's Caleb Johnson.
I watched the game and I just noticed, okay, everybody else is sitting. Everybody else that's an important part of the offense is sitting, and you're still playing because you still got to practice. So, you know what I mean? Like, good for him. His 11. Like, again, I never once, every time I talk to you, bro, I always tell you, bro, it's not about him toting a rock. It's never been about him toting a rock. That if he's not, you know what I mean? It's about those trusted downs, the important downs. And with Arthur Smith and also Mike Tomlin as your head coach, yeah, and Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, yeah, you will get that rookie treatment at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just what it is. It's not to say that it can't turn around for him or whatever, but today, as it stands, you don't select him thinking that you're getting a player that's going to produce right off the bat.
Yeah, and what this tells me is Jaylen Warren's a pretty good pick. I mean, he's clearly – they trust him in this offense. He's definitely going to be that guy. But Caleb Johnson, like I said in the beginning of the stream, you have to know which players you're kind of banking on for later in the season and understand that you might not be able to rely on them. You want to start off your fantasy football season with some dubs, and you want some people with some clear-cut roles in those offenses. But besides,
what I would say about him is, like, let somebody else draft him, and then, like, once
that's your favorite phrase right there.
When the buys come and everything, and they got to make tough decisions, they're going to drop them. And then when they drop them later in the year, that's when you can go through. You can pick them up off the waivers and stash them like that. But
so
you
think he's someone that might get dropped? Like, you don't think I feel like yeah. So what type of split do you see the Steelers having with Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson?
It's just fantasy football players are impatient.
True.
Fantasy football players are impatient. So it's like, okay, if I start losing, I got this guy on my bench. He's not doing nothing. Now the buys are coming. I need to drop somebody. He hasn't been cooking. They're going to look at the box score and see that he's averaged like 7 or 6 points a game, right? They're going to just be like, all right, I'll drop him, and then I'll pick him up again next week, or this, that, and the other thing. If he hasn't been doing anything spectacular, it hasn't been scoring any touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, especially if we talk about at the beginning of the bye, yeah, someone will for sure. Like, I mean, there's been times I've gotten DeAndre Swift the same way. Last year I got Chase Brown. Like, I've gotten guys off of waivers that are essentially league winners, and it's because people get impatient and they drop players. I mean, it happens all the time.
Facts. No, you're spitting right now. You're spitting. Yeah. I mean, that'd be crazy. I mean, if I was that person, but here's the thing too, that early in the season, it's kind of hard to put together trade packages for these kind of guys unless they've shown something, because then people are thinking you're trying to get over on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, he's not a trade piece, because what have you done for me to trade for him?
You're a rookie.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, if you feel like stashing him, cool, stash him. But now I'm picking up the last week's superstar off of waivers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm picking up this year's Bucky Irvin, and you're still holding on to Keldon Johnson. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, hell no. I want like, you know how this goes. Like, bro, you saw it last year. Isaiah likely went crazy in the first game, and people were maxing out their fab.
Oh,
like
yo,
you know what I'm saying?
We should do an episode like that where we go back to those first couple weeks of the season probably on Sleeper. I think Sleeper does that kind of thing the best.
Yeah.
And just see some of the trends in terms of how reactive people are, especially when we're getting these sleeper updates like, all right, everybody's dropping him right now. Everybody's picking him up right now.
Right.
Spend 30% of your fab. It's like, whoa, chill. Like, chill.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a, you know, that's all it is. It's hard to stay patient. It's easy to stay patient if you're winning. You 4-0, you sweet, okay, you can stay patient. But the second that you 1-3, 1-4, patience starts to become something that you don't have. You know.
Yeah, let's get into the next game. Cardinals, Broncos. Broncos. It's a game I didn't really catch, but from what I'm
RJ
seeing,
Harvey played better. He ran in between the tackles. He ran well. I mean, the Broncos, they're looking good. They look good. Kyler's just out there being Kyler. I don't know what's going on really with the offense, but I mean, they did play. Yeah, it's kind of just a preseason game.
I mean, so obviously Bo Nix, he played with Troy Franklin at Oregon. He had 2 touchdowns in this game, 4 catches for 67 yards. You have Evan Ingram, who they just picked up. I mean, I think this is going to be a very potent offense. It's just we got to see what's going on with this backfield. Sean McVay is a pretty big fan of Sean Payton is a pretty big fan of Jaleel McLaughlin. So, you know, he might get busy a little bit. RJ Harvey, we've even heard from some people close to the team. That trouble with really finding the holes and hitting that holes, not bouncing it out the outside every time. It's been an issue, and it seems like from this last game, they've kind of been bringing that home. And, you know, Sean Payton's not going to spare any punches. So that's why I'm confident with a talent like RJ Harvey, despite what his scouting report said about that being one of his negatives. I feel like they might be able to work out the kinks. That's still somebody I'm targeting in drafts, depending on the ADP. But Cortland Sutton, smash pick. I mean, I think that's an underrated stack going into the year is Bo Nix and a Cortland Sutton. I think they're going to be active using Evan Ingram, who they got from the Jags. I'm just high on Bo Nix in general. I know you were a little bit skeptical last year, but are you on the Bo Nix train now? Like, you know,
I mean, I respect
him his
what
flowers yet?
Yeah, and I did last episode. I respect what him and Sean Payton have. Like, they're by their hip, and you know what I mean. If that's his guy, is going good. I'm not going to hate on it. The offensive line is great. Defense is great. Cortland Sutton's a solid wide receiver 1. If they can figure something out with the other guys in this running game, you know. We'll see what happens. So I don't have any shade, but again, it's he had a tremendous year. I like him, but he's going 4 rounds higher than Drake May. Like, if him and Drake May were switched, I'd be rocking with Bo Nix. It's just, you know what I mean? And if that don't work, I'm gonna go JJ McCarthy. Like,
but don't you think he's right? Don't you think it's rightfully so that he's going that high above Drake May? Not as like talents, but the situation in Denver's way better. We see that defense is going in like 12 rounds.
It's not going to be an 80 or 50 point fantasy football differential. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, Drake May is probably going to score anywhere between 285 and 315 points. And if I were to guess, Bo Nix is going to score anywhere between 285 to 315 points. You know what I mean? It's not like with Josh Allen. We know Josh Allen is smoking you with that point differential. We know Jaden Daniels is probably smoking you point differential. You just said today he ran one in for 14 yards in a tutty. That's 7 points. He ain't even throw the ball yet. You know what I mean? Like, like, and I don't. It's not that I don't think that he's Josh Allen. You know, like he'll have good games, but so will Kyler. It's just Kyler. We don't know. We don't really know. So it's just one of those things where he's going in like the 7th, 8th round, and like I'm not hating on where he's going. Me personally, I don't feel a need to draft him. I mean, I auto drafted him, and they liked the pick, but they were like, "Yo, you would have got more points if you would have selected a quarterback later." You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where I don't need to draft him where he's going. I'd rather get another wide receiver or another running back.
And here's the other thing too. Even though Bo Nix is in the better situation, he has better weapons. He is Sean Payton versus Josh McDaniels. The whole thing is, if Drake May, he's playing from behind more often, that's more opportunities for him to score points versus if this Denver defense is what we're expecting them to be,
ball control.
Then it's just ball control. He's feeding the running backs. Shit, he might be cooking, and then he's playing real conservative to keep the lead. And Drake May had a better fantasy outing despite them losing, and then the Broncos winning. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So.
Yeah,
that's something to keep in mind in terms of where you're drafting these guys. Oh, Bo Nix, Denver, I'm high on them. They might.
My man
win the
Mikey
division.
loves Bo Nix. He loves Bo Nix. He probably won't leave his draft without Bo Nix. No cap. He probably will not leave his draft without Bo Nix. But he almost won a chip with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an emotional connection that he has with Bo Nix. I don't have an emotional connection, but there's guys that do, and that's why he's at where he's at. And that's why I'm cool with Drake May and CJ and Jordan Love and Caleb, and even if it's two of those guys.
Yeah, no, I feel that. It's definitely going to be interesting. I feel like the quarterbacks, the more I'm doing these fantasy drafts, I'm more of a fan of just getting – I need to figure out like 3 guys that I really like, and then just target them because I feel like one of them is definitely going to be available. Like that's the type of draft that we're in this year. But let's get to the Saints Jags. Little shit show game. The Saints, big thing with them is what's the deal with Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, whatever you want to call them. I don't think I'm not really a fan of the kid. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, he played decent. He had a nice ball to Chris Olave. Chris Olave dropped it.
12th year.
Look at this.
Oregon State, former first round pick. Deep play fake and Shuck losing his balance. 12th year.
What is
Oregon
that?
State, former first round pick. Deep play fake and Shuck losing his balance.
See, I don't know how that's the quarterback's fault though, because it's like
if Jackson Dart been in a couple of those situations and he finds a way to do some Mahomes magic. Is all I'm saying.
All right, and shout out to Jackson Dart, but this dude's a statue. This dude is not a dual threat quarterback. This dude is a 6'6" statue. So if the pass rush is coming through, he's going down. Like, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, Wait.
By the way, Spencer Rattler, he had 24 attempts, completed 18 of those, touchdown and a pick, took 0 sacks. Tyler Shuck, he had half of the attempts, so 12, took 2 sacks. And we got to remember, like, sometimes sacks are a quarterback stat in that situation. I feel you. But like you said, he's a statue. Spencer Rattler, not a statue. So, I mean, they're probably rocking out with Spencer Rattler to start the year. It's just weird. It's a weird situation because it's like you get this old guy, you would think he's ready to go right now. You know, he backed up Justin Herbert at Oregon.
It's just an interesting team over there. But
that's pre-pandemic, by the way. That's
their first round pick is really good. He allowed no rushes, no hurries, no sacks, nothing. It was 0 all across the board his first 2 games. So that's good. They hit on the first pick their draft. So that'll be awesome when they do decide to actually draft a legit quarterback. But I mean, this team is just a team full of like interesting teams. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on the team. He's a running back on the team, and he's not even running that bad. He's actually running pretty well. He ran pretty solid yesterday. Condre Miller is still there, but you know,
they added Bayless Jones. I think the last time he was on was the Bears.
Yeah, and I mean Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave, they will be getting the majority of the targets. So that's the one thing, and I definitely think based off of the way that their team is, they'll be receiving screens, a lot of stuff, just getting the ball out to them quick and letting them do work, and that could be beneficial for me personally. I'm kind of staying away from Chris Olave, but I am targeting Rashid Shaheed just because I think that they do similar things, but one's at a significant less value. So I love to lead my draft with Rashid Shaheed. If he pops, it's awesome. If he doesn't, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I can drop him, pick somebody else off of waivers, and I'm not losing that much sleep about it.
I'm good on Shaheed. I'm good on Olave too. The only person I'm taking from this team is Alvin Kamara. That's about it. I'm good on this Saints offense. I'm good on the Saints in general. I'm good with whatever teams are playing the Saints. That's who I'm taking, to be honest. But it should be funny to watch overall with the Jags. That boy Tootin, he got a lot of burn, but it's a confusing backfield. We're hearing a lot of buzz about Tank Bigsby coming from the coaching staff in terms of what they plan on doing. And then you took Trevor Etienne in our last fantasy draft. So
yeah, and I mean, again, it's not because I love the player or I think he's going to do great. It's just one of those situations where he's going in the 9th round and he's a starting running back. All right, I'll take it. You know what I mean? And he is a starting running back with a good offensive coordinator. Even you can say, "Oh,
you took him in like the 5th round. You took him early as hell."
No, I didn't, bro. I literally took him in the 8th round. We can go back and look.
I thought you said 9th.
We can go back. We can go back though. We can go back and look. But like, and even today, like I said, I was studying and I was preparing for my draft, and I'm seeing where he's going, and it's like he's going here because people he burned people last year. He burned people. People drafted him on the back end at that 2-3 spot, and he burnt people. It's the same thing with Isaiah Pacheco. They're going way lower than they were going this time last year. And Travis Etienne really don't even have no injuries. So, and he has a better offensive coordinator now. So, I mean, it might not work out, but if it doesn't, it's fine because he's not my running back 1. He's a potential running back 2 option, and all I ask is for 10 points from them guys. If he can't get me 10 points, all right, cool. If he does, bet. You know what I mean? Like even Trevor Lawrence, he looked better out there. The offense is going to be different, and they just have more weapons on the outside, so you can't really play around, put 8-9 in the box.
My thing is, now that they have Liam Cohen with the Bucs, they use 3 running backs for the most part. I mean, between Sean Tucker, Rashad White, and that boy Bucky Irvin. So I feel like, you have Tootin here, rookie, Etienne, you have Tank Bigsby. It's another backfield that I'm waiting to shake out before I make any moves.
Even with Bucky, think about this. Even with Bucky breaking out, Rashad White was still serviceable throughout the entire fantasy football season. He wasn't the player you might have thought he would be as the starter receiving all the touches because of Bucky Irvin, but still that offense was able to support 2 running backs that were essentially running back 1 and 2 on the weeks.
Yeah, I mean this is still different. It's still a different offense.
I mean,
how do you feel about their O-line?
It's good enough. It's going to be good enough. Like they're good. Liam Cohen he's going to be straight. Like they got enough weapons. I mean, Travis Hunter in the slot. You got Brian Thomas Jr. on the outside. Even De'Ami Brown for real. Like De'Ami Brown's going to get involved. Like I'm not even joking around. De'Ami Brown's going to get involved here. Like this is going to be a legit offense.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't even think that would even be a joking matter. I mean, De'Ami Brown, He was kind of doing his thing later in the season. I'm kind of surprised Washington gave him up, really. But
it's money. It's money. You're a free agent. You know what I mean? He goes to the open market. They can't match that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the team's going to be better overall. I'm targeting Cam Little. He hit that 70-yarder in preseason. So that makes me intrigued. But besides that, take your risk on Travis Hunter. Just know he's going to be playing on offensive defense. There's some more opportunities for him to get hurt. And real quick, we haven't gotten into this. Can you explain how the fantasy scoring is going to go if Travis Hunter gets a pick?
I really wouldn't be concerned with Travis Hunter's defense helping you out in fantasy. Unless you play an IDP league, it has no concern. What he does on defense has no concern for you unless you have the Jacksonville Jaguar defense.
So you're telling me Travis Hunter, he gets a touchdown. All right, boom. He gets what is that? 4 points?
Well, a touchdown would be 6 points.
Oh, I'm thinking about what the quarterback gets. Quarterback gets 4 points.
I mean, yeah, he has to essentially run it back. It would be like
receiver gets 6 points, but for a pick, he's not getting that little 2 points.
No.
He doesn't get the 2 points
for
the pick.
Gets that 2 points. The defense gets that 2 points.
But he got the pick.
Right, but he's playing defense. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think that you're going to get extra points off of him being a two-way player, it's just like if you have a wide receiver and he's a kick returner too. Like if you have Turpin, if Turpin scores as a kick returner, you get the 6 points for him scoring a touchdown as a kick returner, but you don't get any points for him breaking and getting it to the 6-yard line.
All right, but what about this? So the Giants, for example, we've been putting our D tackle Elijah Chapman. He's been playing a little bit of fullback. So let's say fullback, he gets a fullback dive on the goal line. Boom. Goes back on defense, gets a sack. You don't think he's going to get points for that sack?
No, that's not how fantasy works.
That's not how it works?
Nah.
I don't like that, though. I don't like that.
But again, he's not going to be playing defense that much. He's going to be
Travis Hunter.
80% he's going to be on offense 80% of the time. They drafted him to score touchdowns.
I don't know, man. Maybe they drafted him and they get a 2-on-1 player. Knock off two positions at once.
Yeah, but we need points here. So
yeah, especially in that division. I mean, you have a lot of opportunities there. We got a blowout. Bears, Bills, 38 burger, almost a 40 burger. Obviously the Bills aren't playing any starters. But Caleb Williams looked good against the Tubes.
Yeah. I mean, this is just one of those things where teams have certain different agendas. Like the Bears' agenda were to come in, take the group team practices serious, execute, and they came in and they wanted to take the game serious too. They had the starters playing. They were trying to get the starters to click. Bills, they're kind of just like, yo, we need to get everybody healthy so we can get to the regular season and then we'll be straight. So, it's just one of those things where it's two different teams with two different philosophies. One's concerned about their execution and running their offense, their new offense that's just been installed this summer. And the other is just trying to keep everybody healthy till game one of the regular season.
Yeah, and like I said, Bills didn't release, play anybody. They got, we're getting old, bro. They got Frank Gore Jr. on their team. Wasn't he just playing in 2021? Frank Gore, senior?
Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy.
And he's not bad. But he's tough. So
Frank Gore Jr., he has to keep the shit going. He needs to have a kid who's also running back. And by the time I'm 40.
I don't even think that's the craziest one. The craziest one is that Drake Kirkpatrick, his son is a sophomore at Alabama.
Yeah, but Kirkpatrick, he's not a legend like Frank Gore.
Yeah, but he got drafted in 2012. That's one of the first drafts that I followed. It's like, God damn, dog, you was just in college in 2012. How is your kid already a sophomore in college?
Hey man, it sounds like he probably has a lot of kids. He on that young boy, Nick Cannon type of time.
Yeah, he's been having probably had him at like 15, 16 for real.
Yeah, he on that Phillip Rivers type of time. Besides that, with the Bears, we haven't really talked. The Bears are tough, man, because obviously I'm high on DJ Moore.
Bro, we talked about the Bears last episode. We literally talked about their whole division last episode.
Yeah, I know, but Luther Burden, like, where are you taking? It's really more like it's the rookies. Luther Burden, Colson Loveland. You taking flyers on them or not? And then we can just move on to the division.
I mean, again, it's just one of the situations where for me, it's about where they're going. So I'm pretty sure I saw Luther Burden. Yeah, Luther Burden was there when we were talking about Christian Kirk. So it's like Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen, Marvin Mims, then Luther Burden, Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman. Like me personally, I would prefer Christian Kirk over Luther Burden. I think Luther Burden is going to become a solid wide receiver. He would be one of those guys that I would want to get. Literally, I'm not even lying. He'd be one of the guys I would want to get after like week 10. I would want to scoop him up, regardless of what's going on with the season. Because if it's depending on the season, if it's one of those things where, all right, they're not in playoff contention, they're probably going to start phasing some of these older guys out, some of these older veterans out, and they're going to start phasing some of the new blood in. That's when you could see crazy production from Colston Loveland. That's when you could see Luther Burton in that Amon St. Brown role, which I think he would be perfect for, which is why I think they personally drafted him. So we'll see, because they picked Luther Burton when Ravion Henderson was still on the board. Like there were some running backs that were really good that were still on the board, and they were like, "Nah, we want Luther Burton over these guys." So I think they have something for him.
That's a great point, because that would have been a good pick for him. I mean, we even talk about this. Brian Robinson, he's on the trade block. It seems like. I feel like the Bears might be a good target spot for him, but I feel like they could have used the Travion Henderson, especially in this division, especially with bringing in Ben Johnson from the Lions. Felt like that would have been a power move, but clearly they have something in store for Burden, I feel like, and Loveland. That's why I'm like, I want a piece of that. You know what I mean? I want a piece of this Bears offense, because we're both fans of Caleb Williams, nail polish and, light skin tendencies aside. I think he's a good talent. I think he's an elite talent.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the NFC South. Just an overall breakdown on how we felt they did this offseason and our projections for how we feel like this division is going to shape out. Obviously, one of the worst divisions in the league. Somebody's got to win it, though. We could kick it off with the Falcons. They started off the draft with Jalen Walker, and then they double-dipped with James Pierce Jr. with that trade. And the biggest factor here, by the way, they got Xavier Watts. I really like that pick. But they were pretty limited on picks. They only had 5 picks in this draft. Story, though, for one, they finally got a defensive player in the first round. So shout out to them. Finally, for the first time in like 5 years, y'all double dip. Y'all got 2. So you got 2 edge rushers down. See if that defense could do a little bit better. It's been the Achilles heel of this Falcons team. But story is Michael Penix. I know you're a big Michael Penix guy. You think he could take another step up? And where do you feel like the Falcons finish overall?
I mean, it's all relative. They could finish first. They could finish fourth. So you know what I mean? With this division, I still like the Bucs. I mean, they just seem as if they're at this point, they're the most organized organization within the division. They're the most stable. They have the most stability between the head coach, the GM, the quarterback, and then the players on the roster. So as long as they're not injured and Chris Godwin's able to come back healthy, I think they'll be fine. They'll probably end up winning it. I definitely do think that Atlanta will be in the running for one of those last playoff spots, though, especially if Michael Penix is able to make that next jump. But yeah, I mean, they wanted some pass rushers. They gave up a first round pick for next year's draft for one. I don't agree with that, but we'll see how it works. And yeah.
So you didn't like the trade? I definitely feel like they gave up a little bit too much, but
nah, I'm not a fan. I mean, me personally, I'm not a fan of trading up like that unless it's for a quarterback. But you know, to each his own. They really like the guy, and they're just one of those teams that if they fall in love with a player, they get him. They go get him.
So you're a fan of what we did to go get Jackson Dart, though? Then.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind y'all having Jackson Dart, bro. You know what I mean? If you want me to,
I don't like. If you want to
run that,
like
that. If you know what I'm saying,
I don't like when you say things
August,
like that.
Like, yeah, bro, like, yo, run that victory lap, bro.
It's not a victory. It's not a victory lap. Yeah, I'm just saying. I think we got one of them.
That's what I mean. So it's like if I'm doing it, it don't matter who the organization is. If you believe in the player and you love him, okay. Like the Saints traded 2 picks for Chris Olave. Their first round pick and the next year's first round pick to move up to get Chris Olave, and then they was trashed the next year. You know what I mean? That just helped out the Eagles. So it's just one of those things. So if you like your guy, if you like the guy and you want to trade up, I wouldn't do it because I could just get somebody in his tier. But if that's how you feel, go ahead. More power to the Falcons.
I mean, it's tough to get somebody in the same tier as Cam Ward in the second. So I mean, the trade up made sense. But we on the Falcons. With the Falcons. Hey man, I'll let you get carried away with your Cowboys talk. I can't talk about, the vibes are very immaculate in New York right now. Or New Jersey, if you want to call it that.
This is what you want.
Listen, man. Y'all open the season up against the Eagles. We'll take care of little bro. Redskins, Commanders. Trump wants that Redskins joint back, though. Shout out to Trump for the Redskins thing. So I'm not getting political. I just want the Redskins title back. I think it's better. But yeah, they also scooped up Divine Diablo, Leonard Floyd. So, and once again, Xavier Watts at safety. So, you have that duo there. They got Jordan Fuller from the Panthers, and then Jesse Bates. You could argue he's the best safety in the league. You could argue that between maybe him, Kyle Hamilton, Xavier McKinney. So I think they made some steps to make this defense a lot better. And in terms of receiving options, you got any updates on Darnell Mooney? He's
still day to day, but as long as, again, it's just one of those things where you got to keep your ear to the streets. But as long as he's going to be playing day one, or he's back fully healthy practicing, I'm taking it. I'm taking a shot on him. I mean, he came up for people last year. Some people were even depending on him. He was a 1,000-yard receiver playing on the outside. With his ability to play on the outside, they're able to kick Drake London inside. And everybody knows the splits when Drake London was playing with Michael Penix. It might not be that every single game or all year long, but we're expecting some pretty good production out of the two. So,
yeah, for sure. Besides that, with the Falcons, who did I want to talk about? Oh, hey, are you taking a flyer on Kyle Pitts later in the draft, or?
I mean, I hope I don't have to, but if I do, I'll do it. Like, bro. There's nobody, as long as you're healthy, there's nobody that like I'm just totally up against. Like, he's still only 24 years old. He's still young as hell. Like, this is when tight ends. Yeah, like this is when tight ends actually becoming the prime. This is when Travis Kelce started cooking. So, like, I get it. You don't really want to do it. You're tired of the whole situation. But I mean, if he falls and I don't have a tight end, I'll take the upside.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So here's the thing with me and Kyle Pitts. I'm not one of those people that's been burned by Kyle Pitts because I've been was off of him. But now we have a quarterback that I actually like, that I feel like might be able to get him the ball. And I feel like the Falcons are a different organization than they were when they drafted him. Because I wasn't burned, I'll take a flyer on him. It's just now we're out of that era where he's getting drafted in the first 5 rounds. We're out of that era where people are trying to put him in trade packages and be like, yo, I'll give you Kyle Pitts. Now we're out of that. I feel like it's a good time to buy the dip on Kyle Pitts, but definitely somebody to talk about because he might surprise people this year. Who knows?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but next up, we'll talk about the Panthers. The Panthers are my sleeper potential playoff team. I just really like Bryce Young. I also just like what Dave Canales. I'm feeling the vision. The O-line better than it has been in the past. Got Ika Makwanu there, left tackle. They got Robert Hunt, Taylor Moton on the right side. Not a bad little unit. And then they did what we wanted them to do, which is get Tet in the first round. Jalen Walker ends up going at 15 to the Falcons. Great smoke screens. If you're doing smoke screens like that, kind of feels like you know what you're doing. And then you still got Leggett there. You got Adam Thielen. They add Jimmy Horn Jr. from Colorado in the 6th. So, and then they kind of got active in free agency when it came to the defense, where they were lacking mightily. But, if we could see another push from Bryce Young, we might be catching up to C.J. Stroud in terms of how fans really look at him,
Yeah, I mean, Bryce just needs to not worry about any of that other shit and just play his game. That's what he was doing at the end of the season last year. And I mean, they were competing down the stretch. They weren't losing. They weren't necessarily winning all those games, but they were in them. They were competing. They were looking good. He was using his feet. He was anticipating on throws. He was throwing with confidence. He was playing with confidence, and that was the quarterback that they were planning on drafting. So I think that's good for them as an organization. Instead of, there was a time where they thought they took a few steps back, and since he progressed throughout the year, it comes to find out that they didn't, and they're back on track because he's back on track. They got him a wide receiver 1 in Tet, so that automatically moves all the other wide receivers that they have down the depth chart, and maybe a guy that is a solid wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 isn't built to be a wide receiver 1. So now they got their wide receiver 1. They got a bunch of wide receiver 2s and 3s. Hopefully they can make it work, especially with their offensive line. The big thing is they had a fire sale on defense 2 years back, and it's just we got to see what that defense looks like. If their defense is solid, keeping them in games, they have a chance to compete, just like the Bucs and also the Atlanta Falcons. But if their defense still has some flaws and they need another year to get some more blue chip players on that side of the ball, then this could still be a good season to build off of, but it could just end up a little 7-10, 8-9 situation where they just on the outside looking in with a few pieces before they're ready to go ahead and make their run.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just something with the Panthers. I feel like just something about it. It's a gut feeling. It's just a gut feeling with me. Any of the tight ends you messing with, Tommy Tremble, he's hurt right now, but they scooped up Jatavian Sanders last year. He showed some flashes. So is that somebody you're kind of eyeing? Not in the draft, but just overall on some tight end waiver wire type of time. Like those first couple weeks.
Like as a streamer, like possibly as a streamer, but I mean, I saw Bryce Young throw the ball at him and it hit him right now. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I mean, it's preseason for everybody, but like I'm cool with taking Tet. If you gotta play with the running backs, obviously I'm cool with taking Chuba late in the round.
What happened to your mans?
Rico?
Nah, Coker.
Coker. Like I mean, late, like I'm saying, late in the rounds. If you want to take a flyer on a Jalen Coker or Bryce Young, cool, but a lot of it with Carolina is one of those things where you're probably going to wait and see. Even with Bryce Young, he went crazy at the end of the year. He averaged I think he averaged like 20 points a game in the last 4 games of the season or something like that, or like 4 out of the last 5 weeks of the season. He had 20 points a game, and he was using his feet. So if you're getting that Bryce Young, he definitely could be somebody that can help you. That's a league winner. You got a quarterback for free that's averaging over 20 points a game. Like that's you can't beat that. That's this year's Baker, essentially. So
Baker's going high, based off what he was doing last year. So,
right.
Which I don't mind because
but last year he was going where Bryce is going.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about finding that next guy, kind of like finding that Sam Laporta, because Sam Laporta is going on those final rounds. So it is definitely about finding that guy. But yeah, Bryce Young could be that guy. He could be a league winner for you. That might be an underrated stack. If you get like a Tet, because you're going to have to get a Tet in the mid rounds, and then you're able to get Bryce Young and he's actually cooking. I mean, that means the rest of your early draft picks supposed to be studs. That could easily take you to the moon. So that's extremely important. Extremely important. It's all about your strategy. And don't get rattled mid-draft. You can't get rattled. Stick to the script and try to adjust to your league mates, especially if you're in a league where you've been there for a while. Yeah, that's what you got to do. But how do you feel about, like, where do you think they're going to end division-wise? Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended 2 seed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not 2 seed, but second in the division.
Yeah, like the division is so choppy. It's like they could end up 2, they could end up 4 again, and you wouldn't be surprised if they ended up either.
I would. That means they did worse than the Saints, and that's a disaster.
Well, yeah, but 3, but yeah. So I mean, they have a quarterback. Again, for me personally, it's not even really about the offense. I got faith the offense is going to make the next jump. It's year 2, and for Bryce Young and the head coach. I just think that they had such a fire sale on defense over the past 2 years that they got to
for Brian Burns,
right? Like they got to see what's good with that side of the ball, and if they can take care of that side of the ball, or even if that side of the ball is average, maybe they can do something in the division. But if they're still leaking on that side of the ball, ain't nothing that they can do.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to the Saints. We were just talking about them. Yeah, man, it's the Rattler show. They're definitely a team that I feel like, yeah, we're looking at next year's draft. We're looking for quarterback, but if you're going to do that, use a 2nd round pick on go double dip in linemen and set up for your future. But once again, they did get Tali Isifuaga last year in the first round.
They did the right thing. They got a left tackle at 1. That's the right pick. Like they picked the right pick with their 1st round draft pick, getting Kelvin Banks Jr. So at the end of the day, yeah, everybody's bitching because of the quarterback situation, but Kellen Moore he's smart. He's smart. He saw Jason Garrett be the head coach.
That's the nicest thing I've heard you say about him.
For 9 years, he knows how to play the long game. And the first thing you do is you draft a left tackle, and then the next thing you do is you get a quarterback. And they know the quarterbacks they know their franchise quarterback's not on the roster, and he knows that buys him time. So maybe they have a few rough years. It's okay, and then eventually he's able to get a quarterback of his liking, and then they will be ready to compete. They will be. So,
Austin, imagine if they got an impact player in the 2nd round, because the 2nd round is just as important as the 1st round. I mean, you don't want to miss on your first 2 rounds of the draft. So imagine if they got another impact player, and then in the 4th round, they got Shador.
Yeah, hindsight 2020, though.
Come on.
Hindsight 2020. You know what I mean? Like they made a decision that they didn't want to deal with Shador. That them selecting Tyler when they selected him was letting letting everybody know that this was the guy we keyed in on. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the guy we keyed in on. We had a chance, they had an opportunity to select Shador, and he would have been valued at in the second round, because at the end of the day, people never said that he wouldn't be capable of being an NFL starter. So you have a capable NFL starter in the second round. You chose not to draft him. You chose to draft this guy because you believe he's a capable NFL starter. Okay? If y'all believe it, I believe it too. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
You don't believe it.
Yeah, if y'all have convinced yourself that, then all right, works for me.
What I'm kind of blown about is my boy Taysom Hill. He's hurt. Like he's been the funniest fantasy wild card these past couple years. You never know what you're going to get. Like he's somebody I would always pick up and be like, yo, I have a lot of buys. Let me just throw in Taysom Hill. He might get me 30 points this week and I might be good. So I wish he was still there right now to do whatever. But like you said, the O-line should be a lot better. Calvin Banks seems like a hit. They went Fuaga last year. They went Trevor Penning first round a couple of years ago. So it seems like they just been kind of sitting and waiting for like their franchise quarterback. I just don't understand, if you're punting on the position for next year, why use your second round pick on a guy that you probably know deep down in your soul isn't a franchise quarterback. So Saints, I understand why y'all are pissed. We played that clip of that Twitter space with Saints Twitter going crazy about it. On the defensive side of the ball, they add Justin Reed, Julian Blackmon there as, you know, two safety additions. They drafted another safety in the third.
Tyrann Mathieu retired.
Shout out to Tyrann. Shout out to the Honey Badger.
One of my favorite football players ever.
For sure. Shout out to the Honey Badger, man. But yeah, besides that, this team's not going to be good. If you're going to draft anybody from the team, oh yeah, your boy Brandon Cooks is back. If that interests anybody. Cedric Wilson, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, they're going to be down often, so Shaheed might be a decent pick. It's just I'd rather invest into a second or third option on a better offense personally. But yeah, let's get into the Bucs final team. I still think they're going to win the division for sure. I just think they know what they're doing compared to some of the other teams in the division. They lose Liam Cohen, but still, the issue right now is Tristan Wirfs. I would say right now a top 3 tackle in the league. And, it's tough. We need him in. Chris Godwin, he's probably not going to be there for week 1. But Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan showed some promise last year, the 3rd-round pick from last year. Emeka Egbuka, everyone's been raving about him. He's someone I'm definitely targeting in fantasy. They went and got Tez Johnson in the 7th round, Trey Palmer. I mean, we haven't talked about him. We both went to West Virginia. Garrett Green went from quarterback. He's a receiver now,
Yeah. I mean, again, like, I think he can do it, especially out the slot. He knows the position. The thing with, especially with slot wide receiver, the thing with slot wide receiver is you gotta know your positioning, and you just have to have the feel for the game. And as a former quarterback, he probably has a good feel for the game. As long as he can leverage and he can make sure that he's leveraging the cornerbacks that he's playing, the DBs out the slot, get to his spots. I mean, I think he can carve out a little role in the league. Definitely hope he does.
Yeah, and I know a couple. Well, I have one major Bucs fans I'm cool with. Shout out to Justin, But he's been really wanting them to draft corner in the past. They double dip in corner with Benjamin Morrison in the second, Jacob Parrish in the third. So, and they also got Shiloh Sanders. They got a lot of interesting like pieces that I'm interested to see how they turn out. They got the heaviest and the lightest player in this draft. Desmond Watson literally can't play because he came in at 460 pounds. And then they got Tez Johnson, who's like $140. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Overall, though, this team's solid. You still have Vita Vea up there in the middle, Levante David. He's still trucking along. I mean, he was drafted in 2012, bro. Shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Levante David. But yeah, overall though, you're looking at Mike Evans once again. See if he could continue this 1,000-yard streak, and then I would target Ibuka. I think Ibuka is going to get active early. He's going to be active often. Bucky Irvin, and then Rashad White is down right now. I would keep an eye on Sean Tucker. But you got anything else besides that?
Yeah. I mean, again, they went toe-to-toe last year. 2 years in a row for real. They went toe-to-toe in the playoffs. Lost to the eventual two teams that eventually ended up in the NFC East. I mean, the NFC Championship. So, they definitely probably feel like they're a few pieces away, and they love Baker. I like what they did by drafting Emeka Ibuka on offense at 19. Tristan Wirth can get back healthy. I know he's going to be out the first 4 weeks, but if he can get back after that, basically the first 4 weeks of the regular NFL season is essentially the preseason, since nobody's playing right now in the preseason. So I think that they'll be able to overcome that. And yeah, man, as long as they can overcome the injuries that they have, Todd Boyles is a defensive genius. Them having Vita Vea in the middle, clog up the holes, stop the run, force people to pass. You have I can't think of his name, Antoine Winfield Jr. in the backfield, deep safety. So when he's playing, I mean, he's a game changer back there, and they need him to win. So as long as he's healthy, I definitely think that they probably win the division title again.
And that would be what, like 3 years in a row? So,
yeah.
I mean, they're slated to do that. And another reason why I want a piece of this offense is it's nice to have a good offense in a pretty weak division. And when it comes to this division, Baker's the best quarterback in this division. So, it's just going to be a good offense all around. Yes, they lose Liam Cohen, but I still think they keep things pushing with the vet in Baker Mayfield, former first overall pick. And we even have Teddy Bridgewater. Like this is a funny roster.
He's the one who threw the touchdown to Emeka Ibuka.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was who was the quarterback.
That's dope. If you could beat out, you think he beats out Kyle Trask as the backup?
I think they really, really like Kyle Trask.
Oh,
I think they really believe they got something in Kyle Trask.
I mean, we'll see. Been in the league since 2021, but he was pretty good at Florida. Who was his main receiver in Florida? Kyle Pitts, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah,
I think that's the situation. But NFC South. I mean, that's it for that, really. Like, what you're getting out of these teams for the most part. Just watch out for some of those sleepers that we mentioned. Emeka Ibuka at this point isn't a sleeper, but try to get yourself a little bit of try to get yourself, a little bit of who else that was really on my mind. Yeah, there's not a lot. There's not a lot in this division, man.
I mean, probably Bucky Irvin, Drake London. A lot of people like him. Obviously, Bijan. If you're drafting early enough, You know, like between Bijan and Saquon, I don't think there's much of a difference. The only difference is one is 5 years younger. Some people, I was listening to somebody earlier this week, and they were saying that they felt like Saquon was even slowing down in the Super Bowl. That's something I got to go back and watch. But he did have over 430 carries. And he is 28, 29 years old. So it might not go right away, but we will find out if he's able to carry the load like the Derrick Henrys of the world, which there's only one Derrick Henry of the world. Whereas Bijan is 23, not even in his prime yet. He could have a magical year. So, you know, if you want to take him as high as 3, it doesn't. Not a bad pick.
And with the Giants, when we drafted Saquon, we kind of ran him into the ground versus Bijan. He's always been splitting carries with Tyler Algier. So, like Austin said, still entering his prime. We haven't seen prime Bijan yet. And then you also got to remember the way Saquon even got to the Eagles is similar to how McCaffrey got traded from the Panthers to the Niners. Two guys that historically have been sort of habitually injured and then just happen to have a fully healthy season where they got a heavy workload. What happened with McCaffrey is he got hurt the following year. He was also on the cover of Madden. Saquon's on the cover of Madden. I don't know if you're superstitious. I'm superstitious, but I'm also a Giants fan, so I might be a little bit biased in preying on downfalls. But you got to keep that in mind in terms of the workload and the mileage on Saquon and the injury history.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun division. You ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, wrap it up, Darren.
All right. Like and subscribe. Matter of fact, shout out to the Waves community. And we'll be back on Wednesday, live mock draft. I'll probably be drafting. Well, obviously, I'll be drafting at the 7 position. So if you got the 7 position, come in here. We'll talk through it, figure out a way to get this money.
Wait. You have your actual draft? Or
no, I have my mock draft. Like when we mock, I'm going to draft at 7.
Oh, you're going to make sure you get 7 because that's –
yeah.
When is that draft for you?
At the end of the month, like 2 weeks.
Oh, all right. So you're going to lock in there. I'm going to pick at the end then because I have that 14-teamer. But – yeah, that's it for that. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. We're on the road to 100. And, you know, we're trying to get shit popping on Twitch. Feel free to put in your questions in the future. We're going to be doing a lot of Q&As and a lot of content for y'all, especially when the season starts. But get used to the schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we'll have some stuff before the 1 p.m. games on Sundays and some standalone videos on top of that. So, make sure you lock in.
No doubt.